I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. What up? When I was a little boy, I put my hood on my back. All eyes on me and nobody cut me no slack. While bowling up and down, that cold money was all I thought. And daddy was selling drugs, so it made me say fuck sports. Him teaching me the game, felt like he was passing the torch. In front of projects, I jumped off the stoop, not a port. My OGs was my idols, not no Meech or Rick Ross. And remember, to be a boss, life was always the cause. I carry Christ on my back, that's why they call me the cross. And whenever shit was rough, I just hustle and stay my course. And every time I pull myself back on my feet, digging my cleats, every step I take, rip up the streets. A gun in a vest, some money and weed is all I need. When I hit the block, my mama started losing her sleep. To love a nigga like me is really not for the weak. I became a villain after that 100 bullets ate up my Uncle G. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that.
Yeah.
And then we there now.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, but damn, we wasn't even live all that time.
I don't think so, cuzzo.
We live now though.
I'm gonna ask wife when she come back down, she'll tell me.
Yeah, ask her. All right, so
let me see if we go to
you live, Bree? Loud and clear. Will said loud and clear.
Yeah, we good.
Let's get to it, man. Charlie Kirk, man. A lot of people happy. I'm seeing a lot of people happy.
Man, that's sad. And a lot of people
bro.
happy. Y'all need help, man. Y'all seriously need help, man. Anybody happy about any type of death is weird, man.
These people demonic, man.
Not for an opinion, man. You don't get to die for an opinion. Where we got the right to free speech, man. That's like saying you agree with them white people back in the day that killed Malcolm X and killed Martin Luther King, man. That's the same notion, man. And I ain't saying he's them. I'm saying you don't kill nobody for their opinion. It's not what
A-Town, salute. Adrian, salute. Cross, what up?
Hey, buddy. Cousin.
Cross, we was up here for 30 minutes. I never hit the live button.
For the black ones, too.
People are evil, dog. I'm looking at the comments. Adrian, you see what happened to Charlie Kirk? I'm looking at the comments and stuff, dog.
And the thing on that one.
People really evil, man. For no reason, man. It's a lot of hate in people's hearts, man. Word up.
Okay, don't worry.
It's a lot of evil in people's hearts, man. People's spirits ain't right, man. Because even if it was Biden or Jasmine Crockett and none of them, I'll be like, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. That ain't right.
Yeah, that ain't right.
Nobody deserves to die like that at work, man. Just talking, man. Nobody deserves. But these are the same people that were happy when the CEO of the health insurance company got shot in the back of his head. These people are demonic. These are the same people that felt like that was okay.
And you know what's crazy? Aisha was distraught by that shit because that was her boss. So she was sick about it.
These are same people that if they disagree with someone, they don't mind them being murdered. They were literally up here justifying that man getting shot in the back of his head because of a job he does, because of his job.
Because of a job,
these people evil, dog. They evil.
Because of a job.
Let me see. Let me see if I can work this thing, man. Will, I'm getting the hang of it, Will.
Will, he's doing his thing right now, DJ Will. Man, this disgusting though, man. This is why people should. I believe this is why none of y'all should have guns, man. None of y'all should have guns, man. Ain't enough responsible people, man. Ain't enough responsible. And I understand that guns don't kill people. People kill people. I get that, but the tool of a gun don't make no sense because one thing about it, he can't run up on that stage right then and there with a machete, a knife or something and kill him without having some type of fighting chance. That man killed that man from yards away with the scope rifle. Come on, man, that's not fair. You shouldn't go out like you in Die Hard. That's crazy, man. Going out like a 90s action movie is crazy, man.
I saw the video. I saw the video when he got hit, boy.
You shot that man in the neck because he telling you y'all telling y'all can't describe a woman. Y'all mad at him for having a brain. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Cross. I was like, that's corny. That was corny to me. It was corny. And it was weird. It was weird to me the amount of people I see in them chats and stuff talking about he deserved it and this, that, and the third. Yeah, that's weird.
I can't even. But like I was telling you when we was having the conversation earlier, I don't even believe in the death penalty, man.
Deep state. Hey y'all, what up, Felicia?
I don't even believe in the death penalty, so that death is wrong to me. Murder is wrong to me.
Then the first guy they had was the wrong guy.
Was the wrong guy? Yeah, that old white man. I didn't even see who they got convicted now. If they pull it up, BJ, put it in the live so I can see it. I'm gonna have my shit.
Man, that nigga shot that nigga. He shot that nigga from far away, bro. Like 2 football fields away.
Come on, bro. 200 yards? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the way it looks.
Isn't that like half a mile? That's almost half a mile, a little over half a mile.
Ooh. The way he was leaking too.
I don't even want to see it. I don't want to see it. I seen enough of my own blood. I'm good.
Keep it real, y'all. Y'all feel like he deserved it? He was young, so I said the same thing, Felicia. He was 31 years old. I said, damn, he was only 31?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was like 40.
Young as hell. I thought he was like 42.
Nah, they caught him. They caught him, Cross.
Was the person who killed him older than him?
Yeah, he looked old. He looked older.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, they caught him, Cross.
Nah,
Hopefully they got the right person this time.
They saying caught up in it, thinking this is their world, man. Can't even have it.
I can't even see. They're not even letting me play the video. They're not letting me play that video.
No way, man. And you know, these people ain't gonna be remorseful over it. They ain't gonna kill. It's gonna be news for a week, BJ, until somebody else killed.
So you don't think he deserved it, right?
Hell no. Nah.
They released the suspect, yeah. They said the second person is not the shooter either. Come on, ma. Be for real. Come on, man. The guy they caught here go Kurt. The guy they caught, what up, Kurt? The guy they caught on the scooter with the rifle?
They released him.
Yo, man, this shit crazy. All right, man. I'm whatever. All right. This shit crazy, man.
They say the suspect that they had, they released him.
Wait, you sure they're not talking about the suspect they had earlier today? Because there was
they saying.
I just seen it on the news that the person that they had in custody, they released them.
Okay, so
that might be the first person, but they caught somebody on the scooter.
Yeah, they had the black clothes on.
Oh, Bree said they have the right guy now.
Okay.
Oh, they found they got somebody else.
Yeah.
That ain't been updated. I ain't seen that update.
How you feel about it, Kurt?
I'm against violence altogether. I don't care who it's against. Killing is wrong. The only issue I have is that, like I said on the last issue, that, when it's them killing them, I don't see them calling in the military about that. You know what I'm saying? It's just when it's in a democratic city, we're going to bring in hired killers to stop it. You're not going. The only way you stop murders like that is to eliminate these damn guns. That motherfucker had one of them high-powered rifles from way off with a scope on it that's designed for military use.
It's too late, Kurt. We're not eliminating. Like, it's too late. America is too deep in bed with firearms to try to get people guns.
But the only way is just like let me use a perfect example. They said, like with the narcotics, if we stop the narcotics from coming in this country, we'll stop motherfuckers from being addicted. Do you believe that?
No.
Because they're not gonna stop it. So to use military to try to stop the drugs coming in, it ain't gonna stop the drugs coming in because the people are still going to find something to get addicted to.
Kurt, I think you're confusing two different scenarios and two different situations.
I'm saying with all of these weapons of mass destruction, as long as you continue to put those guns or allow those guns in society, most of the people that's doing these killings are not registered gun owners. But if those guns are not accessible in society, then you don't have those guns to use. Look at what's that country? Is that Canada? They don't have mass shooting. Yeah, a motherfucker might stab a motherfucker or something. But if you ain't got access to guns like that, you won't get that.
But it's America's culture. America has years of guns and stuff like that. It's 500 years. You know what I mean?
It has years of violence, but so how do we stop the violence? Don't say that you're gonna put killers and bring in bigger guns to stop violence because it's still not gonna stop it.
I mean,
them niggas,
you can't stop. You're not just gonna stop violence, bro. It's violence in the UK, and they don't have no guns. Them niggas dying left from them niggas dying like Chicago from getting stabbed. So you're not gonna stop violence,
right? So I don't understand why they putting military in these inner cities where blacks are at. They ain't putting it in.
Let me help you understand this a little bit, Kurt. Maybe you're not looking at it the right way.
You don't want to understand it.
I don't think you want to, but I'm gonna save that argument for another day. The communities, the black communities, we need militia and military there because the regular police departments that they're sending in cannot control that type of violence. There's two reasons why they can't control it. Number one, them boys is just too wild. And ain't enough of them, and they're not experienced for that type of violence. It's just as simple as that. These kids are shooting with no regards. They got buttons, switches, and automatic rifles, bullets that shoot through walls. They have all of these things to combat the regular police departments. However, when you send in a military grade structure behind that, now they don't have to worry about you shooting through my vest, you shooting through this armored vehicle, you not following law and instruction and not having the fear of the police department. They need fear. Hold on, let me finish, let me talk. Any society, through any type of world dictatorship from any era, you need discipline in order to govern. It just is what it is. Rather, if we go all the way back then, you get your hand chopped off, you get your arm chopped off, you get a leg chopped off. Until now, you get incarcerated. You need some type of structure. If people are not fair, if people don't fear their law enforcement, then anything will happen.
I see what you're saying. Okay, I respect that idea. But in a lot of those countries, the only people that really have weapons like that are either the militia or the military. The everyday citizens don't walk around with switches.
Okay, but number one.
But you still not. It's still because this country is so steeped in bed with violence. The military ain't gonna stop it. It's just going to escalate it.
You said the military ain't gonna stop it. Military just stopped DC.
But they did.
Okay, they
Okay.
stopped. I don't care about that. What state? DC's not a state. I don't care about none of that. They stopped a land mass of people from committing violence. A piece of land in America, they stopped. They said, all right, y'all gonna chill. And there was no violence, not between the police and the civilians, not between police. Nothing got out of hand. Things got in order. So if not, let's see if we can portray that same thing into another community. What's wrong with that?
Okay, no, what I'm saying is it didn't stop because somebody in DC, they've been having murders. They had 8 since then. They still
I
having
need
murders.
one. And if
They
it
It's
had
was
8. They had
since
what?
then,
They had 8 since when?
it's been 8 since the military been in DC. It's been 8 murders. That's
I don't
statistical.
know how true. Can someone look that up? Is that? Can someone fact check Kurt,
who's
please?
that? Kobe.
Fact
What up,
check.
Kobe?
Fact
Kobe.
check it.
I know percentage of crime has been down all over America before the DC. That's not the point.
No,
The
but no.
point is-
Hold on. To respond to what Kobe talking about, that already was debunked. They fired the commissioner and all that because they was lying in the statistics. They was lying in the data. They fired. They got rid of the commissioner and somebody else. So don't go by the data. Go by the people that live in DC. Go by the
Okay.
people that live there that was saying how safe it is since the military got there. Don't go by stats. They
So what?
manipulate the stats all the time.
Why the military ain't in Utah where this dude got killed?
So why see that's
I'm not even
confused
gonna
the truth is,
respond to
man.
that, Kurt. I'm not even gonna respond to that.
Come on,
I mean,
Kurt.
you
You
know,
know the difference between that, Kurt. Stop acting. Let's not act like you don't know the difference, Kurt.
Yeah, you being childish, man.
what's the difference?
Okay, I'm gonna explain it to you like a 2-year-old.
being
That's what you
childish,
want to
bro.
hear.
He being
The
childish.
niggas in DC are killing innocent civilians all over the place. The act of violence that happened today in Utah was a hating person who need his own psychovalue. It's 2 different things. One's a black community, one's a one-of-one incident. Those are one-of-one incidents. They're not hurting their community. They're not pumping drugs into that section of Utah. They're not gang related. They're not adding more people to their gang. They're not doing none of that. Two different types of violence right now that you're trying to merge into one situation. It's not the same situation.
Murder, killing is killing,
There
bruh.
we go.
All right, we're not even gonna go on that point. They don't even make sense to go back and forth with why they don't send the military to Utah. Okay, Chicago's next. Chicago's next. That's what we gonna focus on. Chicago's next. DC, the crime and murder and all that. The people of DC are happy. The black people of DC are happy that the military is there.
But they got the police marching with people that are against the military being there. The majority of people.
I don't know the people that's against that are idiots. They got to be idiots because the people that actually live in DC, focus on the people that actually live there, Kurt.
Hold
on, Kurt. The people that you're talking about that you see are against it. They're downtown at the Capitol, at City Hall or something, standing in front of the City Hall building, whatever building they standing in, and holding press conferences. But when you go into them hoods, when you go into Southeast DC and all that, those black people are saying they are happy that the military is there. Those are the only people that matter, not people that's told. Them people probably not even from DC. I want to hear the residents of DC and the residents of Chicago. I don't care about what Kurt talking about that live in Missouri. You know what I mean? It don't matter what I'm even talking about. I don't live in DC, but I know one thing: DC been a killing field. And if the military, if the military is going to help the crime and help my people stop killing each other, then I'm for it. Why would I be against that?
I'm saying I'm against killing. I don't care if it's okay. Let me read you what's law, and if you don't believe me, fact check this too. The U.S. law, the U.S. has laws, most notably the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878, that prohibit the federal military for domestic policing. You know, you can't, to protect against historically feared military abuses of power, seen in other contexts, such as the British military actions in the colonies. The distinct roles of military and domestic police, the Constitution commitment to civilian liberties, and a long-standing tradition against military involvement in domestic affairs also contribute to this separation. You got to have separation because military does not recognize constitutional liberties. Like, they're trained to kill in conflict, and how they perceive conflict is different than how your local police officer may see conflict. They may see somebody that's black that's walking down the street with a bag of Skittles and shoot him because he's considered the enemy. He's a black man.
Let's not do all that, because the military been in DC for damn near a month now, and everything that you're saying hasn't happened. Not one case of it. So,
DC is not considered a state.
Okay, but the military is there in the black neighborhoods and the black hoods, and black people are not dying and being locked up by the military just because they're.
DC does not even have a governor. The difference of the separation of powers, if you understand anything about the law, the difference between the separation of powers, the governor has to ask a governor. DC has no governor.
Bro, it's irrelevant. The military is in DC. The black, you're trying to recite law, and no, we don't care about law. Military is in DC, help making the streets of DC safer again in the neighborhoods. Not no black people getting killed, not by the military. Not no black people getting beat up and locked up and all that by the military. None of that you're spewing is happening. That's all we're saying. You're saying this is gonna happen if the military comes in there. We're saying the military been in there damn near a month and not one case of what you're talking about.
What I'm saying is what the law is. You can't break the law to say breaking the law is right. You can't split the peanut that way.
We're not even talking about. I don't know what you're talking about now. You're talking about breaking the law and all that. I don't know.
Okay? I just read you the law. First of all, DC is a federalized area.
We know that. That's why the military. That's why he's able to send the military in there.
But he's not.
Know that. What you're saying is the military should go in there because they're gonna kill black people, and we're saying the military been in there 3 weeks and they ain't kill no black people.
That's not what I said.
That is
and
what
you keep misrepresenting what I'm saying by trying. No, you're trying to commentate what I said, and that's not what I said. I said the military, you could bring the military in DC because it doesn't have a formal considered state, but he can't take them into Chicago, which is a state that's ran by a governor who governs the laws there.
That's exactly what you say. Kurt, we're not talking about Chicago. You got to stay focused on one thing. That's the problem. You over here and you back in Chicago. We talking about DC. We talking about DC. The military is in DC.
Okay. Have anybody fact checked?
In the last episode, you said the military is going to be killing and locking black people up. That's exactly
what I said is under military rule. If this country went up under military rule, they don't adhere to like constitutional liberties and shit. It's under military rule. That's why you got a separation of powers. Like you can't take the military, say like into Missouri, unless the Missouri governor asks for help with the military. Normally, the National Guard is only designed to come into the states when you have flood and disasters, and they come in and help. You can't take military.
Look. Not to cut you off. You just said when they have floods and disasters, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. That's when they come, right?
That's because the governor asks.
Okay. Let's keep it simple. When they have floods and disasters like hurricanes and all that other stuff, that's when they come. Right. Okay. Let me help you put it in this perspective. The black community is having a disaster with the people that are in there.
Major
That
disaster.
They need to send the National Guard because the police can't detain the disaster that is going on. Can you understand it that way?
okay, in DC, what they're doing is legal. What the military is doing is legal because they don't have a governor. So the commander in chief can employ troops to Washington D.C. He could have employed troops when they did the January 6th things, but he didn't. And it was at that point they needed the National Guard. But in normal states that are considered states that have governors, you cannot send military troops in there unless the governor asks for it.
Okay, so that's the reason why it's irrelevant what we're talking about, because that's the reason why the military is not in Chicago yet. So
Right.
what are we talking about? Okay, the
I'm
military is
just
not there. He's not gonna. You're saying he can't break the. Okay, nobody broke the law. The military is not in Chicago. Why are we even talking about that? They're not there.
right. Well, that's the only point I was making. He can't bring them into Chicago like he did DC. He
Okay.
can't do that without consent from the governors.
That's why they're not there, because he can't do
Right.
that. So he's waiting until he's able to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine. But the military is in DC, and the residents of DC are loving it.
I see that nobody have fact checked how many murders have happened in DC since the police been there.
Okay, even if murder's gonna happen, just because 8 murders happen in DC,
I don't
mean
even
it happened
believe
by
that,
black
Davon.
people.
I don't even believe that.
Don't mean it. Not only it don't mean it happened by black people. A white person could have killed a white person. Somebody could have ran somebody over. It could have been manslaughter. And if it's been 8 people, since
I don't even believe it's been 8 murders
If
in
8 people been
DC.
murdered since that situation, that means nobody's been convicted yet. Nobody's seen trial yet, or anything else, because the court system don't work that fast. So therefore, if there has been even 8 murders since then, none of them has even been convicted. So you can't even call it murder. Stop the narrative pushing, man. If you just think about it for 2 minutes, it don't even make sense. Man,
I don't even believe it was 8 murders.
And there are people in Chicago too. They say anything too. They so stupid. Chicago kids. This is how you know they need National Guard out there, Kurt. They sit there and talk about, oh,
Yeah,
they
but
better
since
not
the
come to
military has
Chicago.
been,
We
not for
got
the year.
switches. We got this, that, and the third. We ready for y'all. We gonna stand on top of the roof. They so stupid. We gonna be on the rooftops to people that's in helicopters.
They just talking, bro.
They're dumb. You're really dumb. You need the National Guard out there to think that you can even fight the army.
They just
If
talking.
they're sending someone that fights other countries, and you think that you can fight them as an unorganized state. If I asked most people what's the #1 weapon in war, they couldn't even tell me. You know what the #1 weapon in war is, Kurt?
Bombs.
No, communication.
No, bombs, actually.
You believe what you want to believe.
Trust me, you know, whether they communicate properly or not, the #1 killer.
Like these niggas in Chicago, y'all all ignorant ass black people, and it's sad, man.
No, ain't nothing. Davon, ain't nothing ignorant about me. You just pushing the narrative, and you don't know the statistics.
It's just simple. It's simple.
Have you ever?
It's criminal thinking.
Have you ever?
Davon,
Okay.
you gotta let him talk too.
Have you ever been in a war zone?
No.
So
No.
then you can't speak on what's.
I've never been in a war zone.
So
in prison.
What? Okay. What I'm
about prison, bro? There ain't no war zone, man.
Okay. Okay.
I've been around.
Okay.
Let Kurt talk, Davon.
Why do I keep getting cut off by you? I let you talk, but then when I talk, you want
to talk really at all. But go ahead.
You did.
Go ahead.
In a war zone, bombs are the #1 reason for casualties and injuries because they could drop a bomb and kill 20,000 motherfuckers at once.
Can I answer that real quick?
Communication.
Can I answer that real quick? Are you gonna let me answer that? Let me answer it.
Davon, you gotta let him talk, bro. Davon, listen. This is what we're gonna do. No, Davon, let him talk because you just went for a minute. If you gotta write it down, Davon, write it down. But try to remember where to come back to when he's done. Because you just went for a minute and he ain't cut you off.
I
You
got
gotta
you.
let him go.
You know, communication is a big part of war. Yeah, because you got to correlate with your allies and where people at and all that. But the number one killer or parts of violence is bombs, even more so than guns, because a gun can maybe kill, 5 or 6 people at once. A bomb can kill a whole city in one bomb. They call it a Moab. It's called the mother of all bombs. They drop that motherfucker on you, and it's a whole bunch of people, innocent people, that die from it. So when you push a narrative that the number one killer is communication, it's not.
Yo,
It's not.
Adrian, you looked up the 8 murders in DC? Is that what you talking about, Adrian? Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, man, for sure, Jason.
Yeah, rest in peace to that brother, because he didn't deserve to die. He just a young white dude, got a family and children too. So the country is made up of violence. That's all I'm saying. And what's the solution to it? I don't think it's putting more guns in the community to stop it, because it's not going to stop it.
Ain't nothing gonna stop it.
Well, something could stop it if we start educating, if we start taking responsibilities for what our children do. You know what I'm saying? Teach our children, why you carrying a gun, what you need a gun for, or even having them to have access to it. Then you start creating a narrative that, settling just regular, normal discourse. Violence is not the answer.
I say so.
Go ahead, Davon.
Kurt, what's the first thing any country sends when it's in war? What's the first group they send?
The Marines.
What is the first group they send?
The
Before they
Marines.
send any groups, before they send any bomb, what's the first group of people they send?
They send Marines.
What is the group called? A scout group, right?
Special ops.
Come on. It's a scout group the first thing any military sends before, and we know this answer already. Well, I'm not going through the stupid shit.
Probably not every time though, Davon. They just bombed. That
You
nigga
don't nobody just sends a bomb. You have to send a scout. You have to send a scouting unit to know what you bombing.
They already had the bombs there.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, Davon. I can't fact. I don't know. I don't think they
That
send
don't make no
scouts
sense
every
to me.
time.
I don't know what.
I ain't gonna say they send scouts every time,
anything
bro.
without having no information on it. How you know what you bombing?
Trust me, they have bombs.
Bombing if you don't have no information.
First of all,
How do you know
because
I'll let you talk. How do you know?
Hurry up, Davon. Come on, man. You want to argue and shit, man. You gotta let the man go, man.
How do you
I'm
know?
Not you,
okay.
Kurt.
I'm trying to answer.
Not
I'm
you,
trying
Kurt.
to.
Hold on, Kurt. Let him get it out, man. Come on, Davon. 10 seconds, man. God damn.
How do you know what you killing or what you doing if you do not send a scout unit? If you do not have communication, how do you bomb anything, shoot anybody to kill a particular person? If you do not gather information first.
Okay, let me explain something to you about military. They not about to send no naked troops in no motherfucking. Okay,
Davon,
Davon, man.
Davon, you gotta let him talk, bro.
I'm trying to give you your answer. They're not going to send some naked troops into a war zone talking about we scouting something, and they ain't got some bombs behind them to protect them.
It ain't a war zone until you send a scout. What are you talking about? It's not even a war zone yet when you send scouts. What are you talking
It's
about?
a war zone if they send scouts.
You're right.
Davon, you ain't never been in no military, nigga. How the hell?
Let me tell you something. When they
military.
Let me tell you something. When they move,
military to do research. This is what I listen to all day. I listen to old Marine stories from World War II. I listen to old Marine stories from the Vietnam War.
It's 2025, man. World War II.
All I'm saying, even back in World War I, World War II, before they send,
commanders and shit like that. I've listened to all of them from other countries and other places. I know.
And trust me.
My ass.
Okay, but because I was one of, I was a first sergeant in the military. They're
What up,
not
man?
going to send any troops in there without B-12 bombers up ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have, superior air force, because they have them airplanes that can
A
fly
lot of
above.
satellites, that's a form of communication.
I said B-12 bombers. Those are bombers. Those are airplanes that can fly way up in the sky and drop a bomb on your ass in case their ops on the ground get cornered. They're not sending
Okay.
ops in countries that they're not at war with.
Kobe
Okay.
says scouting is done by communication.
Right. But they're not sending scouts out there without having bombs protecting them. That's like sending the police to do a raid and they ain't got no gun.
All right. You just have bombs then and see where that gets you without communicating.
I don't think.
Nadia in the building. Let's see what Nadia think, man.
Yeah, I don't know where this conversation is leading, but I would argue that yeah, you need a sense of. I don't know where this is going. I don't get it. But where I'm going with is I want to go with Dr. Kelly's comment.
Uh-oh.
Says, "Man, Charlie Kirk is dead." What Kirk's talking about? I want to talk about Charlie Kirk's death.
Let's go.
Yeah, because
You didn't give a damn. You gave 2 fucks about Charlie Kirk dying.
I don't say I didn't give any care about it. I just think it's rather interesting how about his political beliefs and where that led him into his own death. That's what I do think. He's talked a lot about protecting the Second Amendment, and he's talked a lot about that he's okay with casualties and people dying for the sake of the Second Amendment. And it's interesting how his death is portrayed exactly in that way. He spoke what he believed in, and he ended up being a casualty in death for the Second Amendment. I don't condone violence. I don't think violence is okay. I don't think his death is okay. But I do think it does it brings the idea of the hypocrisy of what it is when people say how important it is to protect the Second Amendment, but also aren't okay with his death. But this is how it came about.
I think your second. I could agree with your second point where, when he said that what he said again? People dying is worth having the Second Amendment. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad. He shouldn't have said that. For real,
Right.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think people should die because of their political views. Whether even if you're for the Second Amendment, you have somebody in your family that's for the Second Amendment. Should they get shot in their neck?
No, I don't. But that's what I'm saying. I don't condone violence. I don't think that's the right way to go about things. I do believe, though, it's being naive to believe that you could, when you're a political figure or a politician or an advocate of those types of things, you are at a bigger risk than somebody who's just a regular civilian talking about gun rights, because you have control over those things. Like when you're not necessarily saying him alone would make these policies, but he has a big platform. He does influence the youth and other people to think a certain way, and so that does put you in a lot more danger than someone like myself saying how I feel about gun rights and policies. That's just the reality of what it is to be a politician. And I think it's interesting, and this is why I say you should be on the side of agreeing of like gun restrictions and things like this, because that is the reality of what we live in, is that anyone can own a gun, or most people can own a gun in America, and it's not well protected to make sure that people are being safe and using them the right way. That's just what
let me just read this. DC went 16 days without a murder, which was the longest period in at least the last 6 years. DC already was at 100 murders for the year before then. I still don't see where it had 8 murders or whatever since the military been there. But 1 murder in DC since Trump brought in the military. That's it. That's what somebody just sent me. Go ahead, Nadia. I just wanted to read that part.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't really necessarily know if do you believe in having a democracy, or do you believe in an authoritative government? Like, it depends on what you believe in, because that's essentially what the DC is becoming, authoritative, meaning that you don't have, although they proclaim you have the rights, you really don't, because you're being watched and you have surveillance over you consistently, which means, yeah, there might be less murders, but that's not real freedom to me. If you're asking me what I want, I don't want to live in a place where I'm highly surveillanced all the time.
Well, they're not highly surveillance. It's more police officers on the street.
That's surveillance.
More law enforcement on the streets is surveillance on the residents of DC. That don't
Yeah,
even make sense.
I think it makes
That don't
sense.
even make sense. So
Police are
more law enforcement walking through the streets is not surveillance on you while you in your house and shit. It's not. That's not. How's that highly surveillance?
I mean, I'm not obviously not in your home, but you wouldn't consider the streets or where you're living if you have officers at almost every block. That is more higher surveillance of what's going on in your community.
I think that's what we pay tax dollars for, to keep our our streets safe, whatever it takes.
Well,
Whatever it takes. If it takes a police officer on every block, then that's what it takes. See, you're really not qualified to even speak on it, because you wouldn't know, because you don't live in a city, like you don't live in an area like DC, so you wouldn't understand.
I live in Atlanta.
When you grow up in the area, or when you come out your house and it's 20 motherfuckers and 20 people, 20 criminals in front of your door every day that you got to walk past, you get harassed, and it's weed smoke and drugs being sold and criminals, people being shot, your kids can't go outside, then you will have a different view on it. You know what I mean? It's hard to have a view on something. I can't have a view on what's going on across seas or whatever, because I'm not living there. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I don't see how anyone, especially black people, I don't see how black people will be against more law enforcement in the black communities in these destructive areas.
I disagree with it, because we know that law enforcement is not equitable in all situations when it comes to African Americans and people of color. And we talked about that before on this show. Like, we're not treated the exact same way that our counterparts are when it comes to criminal activity or detaining us or certain situations with the police. So yeah, when you're talking about heavily and to answer your question, like, police surveillance is a legitimate law enforcement activity for investigating crime. So that is a thing. So you're wrong about that. But ultimately,
I'm wrong about what part? What you said?
Police surveillance is a legitimate law enforcement activity for investigating crimes.
No, that's not what you was saying. That has nothing to do with what we.
I was saying that having more police around creates more surveillance in communities.
No,
yes, it does.
Police is not even police. Just because they put more police in the streets to walk through the streets, don't mean that they're doing surveillance on anybody. Police surveillance is when they have a target and they going after somebody and they're surveilling that person. That's when police surveillance come into play. But just because they're walking down the street doesn't mean anything.
I got a quick question. If you're not doing anything wrong, then what does it matter?
What does it matter? She's worried about the criminals. You're worried about the criminals.
No, I'm not. Who are you
worried about?
We've had conversations about how it can get escalated. Certain, like I said, certain situations or people who are not necessarily guilty can be found. Like, let's go back to a reasonable thing, like Breonna Taylor, or what's a better one? I forget what's his name. But there's a ton of innocent Americans who end up getting into situations because because it was an escalated situation by the police task force. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're guilty of anything. But what I'm saying is, if we know that the system itself or policing is not equitable, then why would it make sense to have a ton on the ground?
Because the criminals are out of control, because the way of life in that city is out of control.
So the answer is to have more police I don't think that's
Yes.
necessarily the answer. That's my personal.
Okay, can I make
Give
another?
me one solution. You go next, Kurt. Give me one solution you have then.
I guess I honestly, I just think that to be honest, I think taking them off the ground would be like the best decision to make, because I think that's a more authoritative approach from our government and specifically Donald Trump. I think the better thing to do, though, is probably to advocate for reform on guns and reform on certain things that we know create more violence in communities. I think that's the better thing to do.
Okay, go ahead, Kurt.
Okay, let me just read something, and like I said, y'all can fact check all these things. It's called the divergent mission. The military is designed, their whole teaching is to fight foreign enemies, utilizing special weapons and tactics, while civilian police are tasked with protecting individuals and upholding the constitutional right at home. I believe that it should be more police officers on the street, not military. Why not appropriate enough funds to put just as many troops as you send there, put that many more police on the street? And trust me, it'll still drop, because now you have manpower, more manpower to surveillance these thugs out on the street with these guns, with these switches. Now they're not outnumbered. You give them the kind of, weaponry or whatever they need to police domestic law. Military is not designed to police domestic law. It's designed to combat foreign enemies. See, they don't recognize, like with troops, sometimes they'll go into a city, and just because you in the street, they'll shoot you down dead.
Who are you talking about?
Military.
See, you going right back to that same narrative, and we just said the military has been in DC for damn near a month, and they haven't done nothing you're saying.
I'm saying
not one case of.
I'm saying when military are employed in foreign police.
Military is employed in DC. We talking about DC. We talking about black communities where black people are dying.
All I'm saying is I'm talking about the law, the true law of this land. Why not put police officers there with the training to do police domestic law, which is the murder and the crime in the cities? Why not put
DC is short about 800 officers or something that they said.
Okay, then you could truly, if you're paying the military these billions of dollars, you could take those billions of dollars and hire more police officers.
They're not paying they're not paying the military billions of dollars. Them niggas is already on the payroll. All they doing is sending them to DC. They paid. They didn't waste no money by taking these niggas from whatever camps they was at. The National
How
Guard,
much you think the military is going to be?
Wherever they was sitting at, not doing anything, because there's no war or none of that shit. So wherever they was chilling at, whatever reserves they picked up and sent to DC, they didn't spend billions of dollars on.
They gotta pay them people.
They being paid. They get paid already. They getting the same paycheck they get when they sit around not doing nothing.
So why not appropriate funds that you would pay the military to transport those troops away from their families and hire police officers, local police? You once said, why don't we become police officers? You could hire a whole bunch of black people in the community that want the crime to stop. That'll be police officers. Pay them a decent wage and let them police.
You know why? Because black culture is fucked up. And we got elderly people like you who say black people shouldn't become police officers. That it ain't worth becoming. They don't get paid nothing. When I was saying we need to teach our kids to become police officers, so we have black police officers in our neighborhood. We need to change the narrative of police officers not being a snitch and you being a punk or something, or a sellout for being a cop. We got to change the narrative. That's why we have. If you go to in my neighborhood in New York, if you go to the black neighborhoods in New York, they either gonna be Spanish, Caribbean, or white. They're not gonna be Black American. And they don't give a damn about black Americans. That's why them niggas getting kicked in their ass and killed and all that shit all over America. It don't take the military to come in. The regular police is doing it.
You know what I just noticed, man? A big problem is this country is still running off of a lot of old laws. That's the problem. Back when you could stand your own ground to them, they came up with that law. They had muskets. You can shoot a musket from 3 feet away and still not hit somebody. We're trying to govern this world, or excuse me, we're trying to govern this country over a bunch of old ass laws. We don't have the same country back in 16 whatever. This is not the same place, man.
Right.
These kids got different type of guns. These people have different type of mindsets. These people have different type of equipment, different type of vehicles, different type of all of these things that we still trying to run off of laws made 400 years ago, 300 years ago. It don't make no sense.
But the Second Amendment is from 300 years ago, and we running it off of that. We can't get rid of guns. Yes, you can. They can pass laws and abolish guns and make the NRA not be able to make guns in this country.
So how you gonna
and
get
put
the
them on the street? Because when they made the Second Amendment, they were talking about the musket gun and the one-shot gun. They wasn't talking about these switches and 100
I'm the
shots.
first person I don't believe in murder at all. You're talking to somebody who don't believe in even the death penalty.
If they was to abolish guns, how would you get guns from everyone in America?
It would be a slow process, but it would be
It would be a slow process.
It would be possible though.
Like any other process. I don't believe I don't believe in guns.
It won't happen. Ever.
I'm not saying it will happen. I don't believe it will happen either.
Well, you know,
the same way they tried to abolish alcohol, and all they did was make alcohol the new hustle. As soon as they try to abolish guns, niggas gonna be selling guns black market. Niggas gonna be shipping them from overseas and selling them in the streets.
That's because they don't regulate the NRA of keep making. If you don't keep making them, they will eventually phase out because there ain't no gun.
So you're saying don't make them in the world, the whole world?
Don't make them in NRA for society.
How about
military?
Shoot each other for fun.
So there will be guns being smuggled from outside of America into America that will still get into the hands of criminals easily. The same way drugs do. The same way drugs do.
I agree.
So y'all can abolish guns all you want in America. They will still come. New York guns are abolished in New York. It always been abolished in New York. Niggas got everybody up there got guns.
I think the situation is there may not be a place where there's no guns ever, but I do think there will be an opportunity to have guns overall in America, which is safer. When you're talking about having the amount of mass shootings that we have annually per year and how many people who are innocent that are losing their lives because of guns, is clearly an indicator that we need to do something different. And if the trajectory is that we have no guns, but we have limited amounts of guns, I think that's a better thing than having the access to guns that we have right now. Because clearly, regardless of if you're Republican or if you are Democrat or you're something in between, you're able to fucking bleed just like everybody else. And I think that's what we should be taking away from this Charlie Kirk situation. It does not matter where he stood politically. The truth of the matter is a gun is a gun, and a gun can kill anybody who is a human being. And if you want something done about it, then it should be to reform. But the answer is not to play dumb and be like, oh, this is a problem with policy. It's not a problem with what side of the sand you stand with. It's the problem of the fact that we need more restrictions on guns, period.
No.
If they stop making the ammunition where the public can get them, eventually the guns will be of no value. You know, like on the military base, they have guns, but very, very, at the very least, you don't see a whole bunch of M16s on the street because they are locked away and only the military have access to them. But if you continue to say, well, okay, let the NRA because they one of the biggest donors of this particular, idea, then they'll keep produce. They mass produce bullets, and so these bullets are out on the streets, and these
So
guys got these guns. Make the guns obsolete. If you stop making tires for cars, then you won't. I guarantee you get rid of all the cars.
Adrian said NRA makes guns for the world.
Okay, but there's different policies for all types of the world. There's places where you can have guns, but it's
No,
very hard to have them. You
I
have to
think
constantly go through loops and holes to make sure you even have the ability to have a gun. So that's the point. Yeah, having guns isn't necessarily the problem, but how easy it is to access them is the issue. How easy it is to make sure. Yeah, I just don't believe that you can drink in America at 21, but you can hold a firearm at 18 years old or less. That it doesn't make sense to me. I don't fathom that, and I don't believe that's a smart thing that we should be doing anyway. But there's a lot of backwards things in our country that needs to be solved and fixed.
correct. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think America is the number one transporter of guns. I think we're the number one people we get guns from. I know Haiti damn sure get their guns from us.
The NRA don't make guns. They're a gun rights group.
Devon, I just checked that. Yeah, the U.S. is the world's largest exporter of firearms.
Who?
Figured
The
that.
U.S.
Figured that.
So who makes the firearms?
The
In
U.S.
2023, the U.S. accounted for about 40% of the
Kurt, how you
global
don't know
arms
that you was in
export.
the military?
I'm saying, but who manufactures them?
The
You know,
U.S.
I mean, the U.S. has to be a company that makes them,
Right.
Oh, okay, now that
Smith and Wesson.
yeah, Smith and Wesson.
right? And so they give them they give them free reins to continue to make all these masses of guns and ammunition. You put restrictions on who they could sell these guns to, and eventually it'll be too harder to get guns. It'll still be, no matter what kind of law they put up, it's going to be some black market shit
But
going
let's be
on.
real about it. The
Of
reason why
course.
we still have guns is because we're the number one seller of them.
Yeah. The two largest manufacturers of civilian firearms are two companies in the U.S., three companies in the U.S., one company in Italy, and then one
Smith
company.
and Wesson.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson is number 2. It actually is.
Who was number one again? Oh no.
Number 1 is Sturm, Ruger & Co. Number 2
Ruger,
is
right.
Smith & Wesson, and number 3 is Remington.
And they go
Wes, what up, baby?
they go unrestricted on all these weapons they keep making, knowing that these weapons is killing our people.
Not to mention, I just went on the Smith and Wesson's website just to take a look. See, I literally any fucking gun that I wanted right here, and then it gave me at least 4 places I can look up dealers in my area that I can go get a gun. Too accessible. I don't even feel like that should be a fucking thing. It just should not be.
Yeah.
And especially when this is a type
You
of
in
shit
Georgia, you could go to Walmart and buy a gun.
yeah, but
Right.
I'm saying that's a fucking issue. That is the issue within itself.
That's insane.
I could be 13 years old, click Smith and Wesson, and you're giving me 4 places I can just go and find one. That's a.
But they're not gonna be able to get a gun.
Listen, nah. But the issue is, someone could end up getting them the gun, or they know there's ways people
Off the
find a way
streets.
about getting whatever the fuck they want to get. I know 14-year-olds who probably toting guns right now. That shit
Off the streets. They're not getting them from the store.
Okay, true enough. But my point of issue is, to you and to anyone that it's an issue that it's that accessible on the internet or anywhere that you could just go and click and find a weapon that could kill multiple people or kill yourself. There are people who actually end up injuring themselves. I don't think that should be a thing.
Like in Missouri, they have gun shows twice a month, and
Hold
you
on.
don't.
I just read an article to Nadia's point. I just read an article the other day. You can't even click on Pornhub no more unless you're 18 and older. You have to actually click on the thing, and you can't even get in. So to
You ain't
Noria's
read
point,
no
you
article,
should be
nigga.
able
You
to do
tried
that
to
for
click on
guns.
Pornhub and it didn't work.
Yeah, Davon, even the cannabis websites, Leafly and all that, 21 and older. So weed, alcohol, porn, all of that is seen as a greater threat to society than exposing kids to
That
guns.
nigga said he read an article about Pornhub. Nigga, you clicked on Pornhub and they switched
Yeah.
that.
No, nigga, I read everything all
He
the
had to
time.
pull out his passport.
No, I
They made that nigga sign up. He mad.
I get too much. Mm-mm. But
But
nah,
yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But I think
like
we
those
all,
videos.
but I really think we all agree that this young man that got killed, that shit is wrong. No matter what his views is, we can have, discourse, but you shouldn't have to die for it. The same way that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they had something to say. Why did they have to die for that? That's crazy. But that's the way this society is going. Oh, if I don't agree with you, I gotta label you, and then I gotta come after you and take you out
Guess
because
what?
your words are a danger to us.
Guess what? The same way I hate that happened to him is the same way I hate that happened to that Ukrainian girl in Charlotte on the train that got stabbed 14 times.
Right.
I hate that nigga too. I hate that
That's
nigga. Word up. That nigga need to get beat up and stabbed up and shit. And guess what? She was a Democrat. She was liberal, and she was a Black Lives Matter. She had a Black Lives Matter poster in her fucking room and got killed by a nigga.
that shit is crazy.
And I hate that. I hate that. They talking this mental health stuff, and I don't want to hear none about that mental health shit because after he did it, he said, I got me a white girl. I got that white bitch. Or something he said, I got that white bitch. Yeah. So I hate that nigga too. I hate that shit. People shouldn't be coming outside just getting killed. Come on, minding their business. That girl minding her business, man. 23-year-old girl. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So I got empathy for everybody, just like I got empathy for the Palestinian babies, bombs being dropped on them. I got empathy for this 31-year-old nigga who wasn't bothering nobody, who was productive, who just had another kid, married, doing all the right things that y'all supposed to say. He just had a different view, view. So he gets shot in the head and bleed out like that in front of the world. Come on,
in front of the world.
This is
That's
hell.
crazy.
I keep telling people this is hell. I don't believe you die and go to hell. I believe this is hell, and you die and you may go to heaven. But this is hell right here.
That might be true.
This is hell. Babies being killed. The nigga came through in Chicago, did a drive-by on elderly people. Somebody's grandmother just got killed in Chicago. And we talking about why the military shouldn't be in there? I don't give a fuck what the military do while they go in there. Kick some asses, bust some heads. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
I don't care. I don't care. We're to the point where we shouldn't care about what they do. Guess what? Civilians ain't gonna be harmed. They gonna be in the house. The kids ain't gonna be harmed. Let them tough niggas come outside when the military come out. All them niggas talking about the military better not come to Chicago. We got switches and all that. Play ball.
Go outside.
Play ball. That's what I want to see. I want to see them play ball.
I think the narrative should be, I hear you say it all the time. All of us ain't gonna be able to go. We as a community need to teach our kids who gonna teach their kids that all that thug shit in the streets, that ain't what's it. You know what I'm saying? That's not what's it. The ones that's out there now had no supervision. Them the ones I think should have been aborted. For real.
Yeah, but we losing that battle. We're losing that battle. For real. We're really losing that battle because I was watching NBA Youngboy. Show, like clips of his show. Them little niggas is demonic. I'm watching the audience. I'm watching clips of them in the audience while he on stage rapping, and I'm looking at them. Yo, they demonic, bro. That's some.
I mean, how we deal with conflict. I promise you, the day that dude was on here and he was talking all that crazy shit to you, I seen you getting ready to go left. You know what I'm saying? So we got to bring a narrative that we can handle conflict differently. You know what I'm saying? People that need mental health issues, they need some help, and they need to go to doctors or whatever they need to do to get some help, because those are the ones, those people that's running up under this demonic idea. I promise you, it seems like that generation from the 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, them niggas done went crazy. They, all of them. I call them
40s and 50s.
the kid. When AOL first came out, which was the continental, this highway of information where they can click all kind of shit just by one click, that all of a sudden communities start doing all kind of demonic shit, homosexuality, killings, motherfuckers walking around with guns, like, I don't get it. I know back in my days, if I had conflict with BJ, I'd knock on his door, tell his mama, tell him come on outside. And I'm gonna beat him up. You know what I'm saying? And after I beat him up, we go around the corner and we chop it up. Some of my best partners I had fist fight with because we had disagreement. You know what I'm saying? He disrespected my sister, whatever, we banged. They ain't like that because this internet have given them some, they have replaced courage with a gun. Half them niggas that be shooting them guns can't fight a lick. They can't throw hands at all.
Real quick, Kurt. Real quick. The area you from, and it was knock on BJ door, and y'all get it in our communities now. It's 100 levels above that now. And where the internet did add fuel to that fire, I agree. But I seen the 90s, and it wasn't no internet around. And it was just as well.
Well, it was still media. It was still media. The 90s, when they start coming in with the gangster rap, fuck the police, and all of a sudden they had guns and drugs and so the people that was looking at this stuff and hearing this stuff over the airwave started acting just like they were what they were seeing.
Yeah, like, that added to it, but they was already doing that. That's what they was rapping about. When they started rapping gangster rap, they was already doing it.
They was already doing it.
Right.
They was already 20 years in. They was already 20 years in.
I'm just saying that younger generation, I don't know where they went wrong. I think a lot of the older black guys were getting locked up. There was no male.
Don't say younger generation. Yours too, nigga.
What? Oh, my daddy and mama was there.
We're not talking about your daddy and mama. We talking about you niggas.
I'm saying when I grew up, they was there. You get caught outside, I promise you, my mama used to whoop the neighbor's kid if she caught you doing something wrong and then take you home to your mama.
These niggas is just, them 60s and 70s niggas is just as much to blame.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them.
Kirk said their mama should have took a plan B.
Huh?
Nah, you 60, 70 niggas was terrible.
Let me do this. Let me do this right quick.
But ain't that ask him, ain't that abortion? I thought he was against abortion. See, that's what I was saying. Some of them niggas that's out there in the streets, they should have been aborted because they wasn't supervised or nothing. Their parents didn't even want them. They was outside.
I forgot how to do this, y'all. Hold on, bear with me. I forgot how to do this. Hold on.
Where Will at?
Work.
Oh.
He in the building, though. I know it.
Don Lemon asked the citizens of Baltimore if they'd like to see President Trump send National Guard troops to help reclaim their city from crime. And I believe he got more than he bargained for.
Should the president send armed troops here?
Yeah, I think it would be a good deal.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. What about you, sir? President send armed troops here? Yes. You think so? Thank you very much. The president sent armed troops here to Baltimore?
Yeah, because I'm a troop.
The president wants to send troops to Maryland, to Baltimore. What do you think?
I mean, I think it would help. My husband was murdered 2 years ago, and nothing was ever done.
Murder where? At home?
Right out in front of our house.
Sorry.
It was a carjacking gone wrong, and they shot him in his head. Killed him instantly, so. But again, our lovely mayor didn't do nothing.
Did they ever find the perpetrator?
Nope.
So you want to see it?
Yes, I want justice.
You want justice, and you would like to see the troops here at the National.
Yes.
It's getting out of hand, man. All these killings all the time. You know, the murder rates going higher and higher. Send the troops to straighten everything out. You know what I mean? And then, like, you know, make Baltimore great again.
So you're in favor of sending armed troops here to help?
I mean, if that's what y'all need to do, go for it. It's like survival of the fitness around here.
I think it'll be a good idea.
Why so?
Maybe we can clean up some of these crime-ridden neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You know?
Is the crime bad?
Very bad. Atrocious.
I hear a common theme from people saying the kids, it's kids. You?
The kids of today. You remember the kids of yesterday when you couldn't get on the back of the bus? The kids of the day would have burned the buses up and flipped them over. If Donald Trump can hear this, you tell Donald Trump that everybody in Baltimore and as Black people, we don't hate them.
Nobody's favorite, Don Lemon.
Yeah, so I listen to the residents. I'm listening to the residents because they live there. I'm listening to the residents, man. And the residents in every city, DC, Baltimore, Chicago, especially the elderly people, they want the troops there. So we could sit here and play semantics with the laws and surveillance and this, that, and the third. Them people are living in a war zone in hell. And that's why I say you can't relate if you ain't living through it. I lived through that shit. I know what that shit is like up there. I know what it's like. And I know what they're going through. And I just do it as a child, as a teenager.
You know what I find ironic though? Them same people that saying they want troops, yet they're the ones that see this shit going on, but I ain't gonna call the police because I don't want to be called a snitch. If you call the police instead of the military, believe me, the police will come and clean that shit up. Why not promote motherfuckers policing their own area? I know that motherfuckers over there selling dope across the street from me. Call the police, get rid of his bum ass. I seen that nigga shooting that nigga. Get rid of his bum ass. Because if he do it to that neighbor, will I call the police?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I thought that he was a threat to my children, yeah. Niggas ain't gonna get ready to be out on the motherfucking street across from my house with switches and all that shit. Man, get rid of them bum ass niggas. Lock their ass up.
The police if they had switches on them and shit?
Hell yeah, because I'm not getting ready to try to combat them.
So why you didn't call the police on your neighbor's son when he was outside in front of your building shooting the
No, because what during that time
last episode you said he was in front of the building shooting a gun off in the air, and I said you should have called the police, and you didn't. And you
what I did,
he gotta move
and forced him to move because him being a threat to work. Well, you gonna either you gonna move or you ain't gonna grow up. Cause I'm not gonna keep allowing you to shoot in my house.
Oh, so you would have killed him.
Okay. Either you gonna stop shooting if the next time you shoot in my house, I'm gonna think you trying to shoot one of mine, and I'm gonna protect mine.
Okay.
It's just simple. So I'm policing my area. I don't want that shit.
Well, we on the same page. Well, I didn't even see that.
That's simpler than calling the police. Trying to kill whoever's shooting outside your door is simpler than calling 911.
He'd rather kill him.
You rather kill. You said it's simpler to go outside, grab your gun, find the person who's shooting outside, shoot to kill him, deal with the aftermath of that than just calling the police.
You're taking away from the kids.
Hey,
that's what's wrong with America's way of thinking. That right there.
Okay, but
it don't make no sense.
But if
logic is dumb.
Okay, but why call the military instead of the police?
What up, Joe?
I know that wouldn't have been right to impose my will, not wanting that motherfucker around me, but I did it anyway.
Josh said, I'm in DC every day and I'm glad the military out there. They ain't really doing shit, more like prevention. Now, them other agencies getting busy in the hood, cleaning it up. That's what's up. I don't even see homeless people out there. I don't see trash out there, none of that.
So where they put the homeless people at?
I don't know.
But see, that's also a thing that I feel like is not being talked about.
Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo, what's the name of that shit?
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, alligator thing.
Alcatraz. But the point in saying is like I don't believe in. Well, okay, I'm not 100% sure of what's the outcome going to be with the whole military involvement on the ground as far as violence. I don't believe in just completely eradicating the homeless population because you feel like it, and that's a disturbance of the city. Not every homeless person is I don't think anyone's really deserving of being homeless anyway. I believe everyone should have a roof over their heads, to sleep and be safe and have somewhere safe to stay. So ultimately I don't agree with that portion of what's happening as well. Cleaning off the streets is not getting rid of human beings who don't have homes.
So would you let homeless people live on your street?
Yes.
On the sidewalk?
Yes, I see homeless
you be
people.
cool with that?
Yeah, I see homeless
Okay.
people all the time as I go to Georgia State, and it sickens me because I wish I could do more. Sometimes all you can do is buy somebody some food or give them money that you have, but I wish there was more that I could be doing or I could be helping, because I don't think that every person that I see on the street that's homeless did something willingly to get there. Sometimes you have bad circumstances and you end up in shitty situations, but that doesn't mean that you're deserving of that. So no, I don't mind, honestly.
All right. So you shifted the problem. Who shifted the problem, man? What you talking about? No, what you got?
BJ, that video you sent is crazy. I just was watching.
Which one?
The blood gushing out his neck after he got shot.
I can't even they won't let me play it.
That's crazy. I
think he bled to death before he even hit the ground.
That was a sniper.
Yeah,
right?
he got hit from. They say he was like 200 yards away.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know how. I thought they moved him to the hospital in stable condition, but I didn't think he was dying. I read
he was in critical condition, but he lost too much blood. That shit was.
Yeah, he looked like he instantly got in the video. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pouring like a faucet. He lost too much blood.
Oof.
Tough.
Anyway, I'm still recovering from that.
Most homeless have been moved to DC, but nobody knows where they went. That's the thing I'm saying. Like, I don't agree with doing something that maybe benefits something one way, but then deterring something in another way. Like, it's left to me to get rid of people. We don't even know where these people are. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
For the sake of policing better or making sure it's a safer city. It's not a safe city if we have people eradicated and we don't know where they're going. That's not safe to me. Safe to who?
America
they got shelters out there. They took them to the shelters. They either went to the shelters or they went to jail.
Why do you deserve to go to jail because you're homeless?
Maybe
I don't know. I ain't make that rule up.
It's a rule, BJ.
It's a temporary rule.
I don't think it's.
I ain't make it up. Jail is better than being homeless. Shit.
When I was
hots in the cot.
there was this
3 hots in the cot. You get your shots. You got medical. You got dental.
Right.
You're not treated like an equal human being in jail. You're not treated like.
Yes, you are. I was treated like a decent human being until it's time to squat and cough.
Yeah, that pretty much. That's why I stopped going.
until they up in your rectum.
Yep.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
Yeah.
But also that don't sound pleasant. You can't fool me. But also too, you're talking about a place where you can go into solitary confinement, and we talked about that. That shit's not all right either. So nah, I don't agree.
I'd rather be in jail than homeless though. Me personally, I'm going to jail.
There was a dude that caught like 50-something misdemeanors in New York City because he was just going in there to get shelter from the winter.
Yo, Dr. Kelly said, let them live with you then.
That's funny, Dr. Kelly. If I could, and I felt this is my father's home. If I could, I would do something about it for sure.
Yo, they've been on kick Nadia out. She coming in with a homeless.
I would take homeless women. I would take women and children for sure.
My
I think
thing
that's
is,
fair.
Crazier than a man.
my thing is that all this money that they have, like these APACs and political donations, why they don't build shelters in these inner cities?
Yo, you know
For
why? Because they spent 70 million and 2 billion with a B, no, on illegal immigrants.
So you want to always talk about that spending and not the spending on funding genocide of kids, and that's what pisses me the fuck off about you.
What
Sorry.
genocide of
What pisses me off
kids?
is that whenever you want to criticize America's spending, the first thing you go to is the 2 billion to this about illegal immigrants, but you don't never want to criticize the fact that the bulk of American money that is going to waste is the money that is used to fund wars America has nothing to do with. That is the number one source of money that could be used to fix America. But you want to keep looking at these damn Mexicans because some Mexicans did something to you. Like,
I gotta fix home first.
yes, you fix home with the money. With that money, you're just trying to take a certain. There's just one pot of money you're interested in, and it's the immigrant pot. But the spending of money to kill kids, that's not your pot. You don't want that pot.
No. See, I already know America is not going to change their position. It don't matter who's in that seat. It could be a Democrat president or a Republican president. They're going to back Israel. Israel has had a hold on America since the 50s. The Jews are responsible for Kennedy getting killed. So
that's a horrible mentality, BJ. Empires have toppled.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Whatever. It is what it is. Fuck the mentality. That's the truth. So it is what it is. Now, I know what can be done right now is stop spending all the money on illegal immigrants and first focus on American citizens. That's what can be done right now.
yeah, and homeless people are American citizens.
And
Why not?
That don't mean I'm for them funding wars overseas. I don't give a damn about none of them wars. I don't think America should be in any of them.
So my whole thing is, all of this money that you're saving by sending illegal immigrants and tariffs, why you don't spend that money that you save to build homeless shelter for people that live on the street?
That's a good idea.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to them, and guess what? You eliminate homeless. You know, them people that have a bed to go to, probably their own little apartment. They can spend billions on that.
That's a good point, man. Freedom comes at your own freedom comes at a cost. You want Second Amendment, you get gun violence. You don't want police around, you get more crime. All comes down to your personal values.
Right.
That's a good point, man.
Yeah.
Good point.
Can I respond to that comment? I agree with the general sentiment, but I feel like when you present these things in such absolute terms, it takes away the fact that the countries in New York, if you really wanted a gun that bad, you could get a gun. Obviously, there's guns on the streets and there's guns that you could legally get by doing all the background checks and all that. It's just a lot harder than other states. And those restrictions where it's not either Second Amendment completely or no guns at all, those restrictions have caused change. BJ always acts like, oh, New York's still the worst gun state. New York's still the worst state. If you look at the statistics of the change that happened in New York since those laws started, it's more than a 60% improvement. And
what law are you talking about?
Sources, I forgot what the act is called. I think it's called the FACE Act. It's like the first.
What is it about, though? What are you talking about?
All right, let me look.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's just when they added the restrictions in New York to make it really hard to get a gun and to stop concealed carry and all that shit. Let me look it up what it was called.
But New York, you was never able to carry a gun in New York.
Unless it's upstate New York and you needed hella rules to do that.
Unless you was unless you own like a jewelry store or a liquor store or something, but you was never able to carry a gun in New York.
I can answer a quick question though, real quick. That thought to building more places for the homeless inside the inner cities. The hard truth is why they won't, and probably why they shouldn't, is somebody's gonna find a way to vandalize it, mess it up, do something in there. Don't shake your head, Nadia. Because
I can shake my head all the fucking day. Don't fucking do none of that.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
That's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is, I was getting ready to say, I know there's just as many good people there is, Nadia. The hard truth is, there's just as many bad people. And those bad people is going to fuck the place up. So where I do believe they should make shelters and shit, they just don't need to be in the same communities that they've been homeless in, because it's just gonna mess it up even more. You need to take them and go somewhere else. You have to get them out of that, because most crime happens in the area you are. So if crime doesn't travel, so if you move people other places, it 9 times out of 10 does not follow, because crime usually stays on that block. So with that thought in mind, don't build somewhere for them to be for more crime to happen. Move the people, and hopefully you. I know my mind state changed when I moved from New York to Georgia. So when you move people, things change. Maybe that's all I'm
Hey,
saying. I'm not saying
John
they
said,
shouldn't have a place. I'm
John
saying they
said
should be.
facts. Focus on America, and all my family are immigrants. I'm just teaching them how to use the system legally. Yep. They not homeless though. They not bums. They not bums. They don't come over here as bums.
My whole point
Your
is,
family came over here as hardworking people, Josh. And they came over here the right way, unless you snuck somebody in.
nah, I don't agree with that sentiment, because I do believe that people can change, and I think that's a band-aid solution or state of mind of saying just because we build something that is going to get vandalized and whatever, because ultimately the goal should be to rehabilitate these people into society. A lot of times people who are homeless are also coming with drug addictions and other things of that nature. I think a bigger reason is because they don't have the access to the things they need. If people had a job and they had a home that was safe and they had other things, and you could make legally where, hey, you can have this place, but you can't be doing, or you need to get clean with some of the things that you're doing. I think that would be a play. It would be an opportunity for people to rehabilitate and have a better opportunity at life. But I'm not going to say they're undeserving of a space just because it is a possibility that it will get vandalized or that it will be an area of violence. I think people want to change, but they need the opportunity to. And yeah, it could happen, but I think also too, if they had the right resources, we would see a lot less of that. That's my honest implication. And just like you said, you move somewhere and your mindset change. If you have a better environment, chances are you will do better. Not everybody, but there's a lot of people who are willing to change and make a difference in their life if they have the opportunity to. But if you're not given one, you're always going to do the same shit that you've always done.
Nah,
Because
all
that's
of
what
them
you know.
got citizenships or green cards from Panama. They came in the right way. They came in the right way. Hey man, shout out to everybody in the chat. I want to see some hands, some applause in the chat too. I'm doing this shit without Will. I'm doing this without Will. He gave me a crash course. He gave me about a 20-minute crash course on this joint. I'm getting the hang of it. Noah, you had something to say, man. Where the hell you go?
Yeah, my laptop like died. I agree with part of what Devon was saying, in the sense that like trying to fix this problem, like in places like San Francisco, for example, where like the entire homeless community is dope addicts. Like I don't think you can really properly assimilate them where they are. Like I think if we're every time I drive between states and I see how much land America has that's just empty, there's like 3 billion ways to just set up places where, even if you're talking about rehabilitating or all that, just a place where they can have a roof over their head. Like it's really not that costly. There's third world countries that are able to do that. A roof over your head and someone to watch over some people. No, like it's like you don't have to assimilate them within inner cities, because that's the hardest place to keep them away from drugs, whatever. And it's like those problems that we gravitate towards, it's like a cycle. Like because they're poor, they go towards these things, and then because they go towards these things, they stay poor. So you have to interrupt the cycle. And I think one of like a feasible way to interrupt the cycle is to kind of move them and, you know, provide support through and provide some sort of incentive. Like if you're offering a roof over their head, it'll incentivize people to do the work for rehabilitation, to assimilate back into society. Like I agree with Nadia that integration is the ultimate step, but I think you can't integrate a bunch of dope addicts into like San Francisco society.
Appreciate you, Jay. Peace, Jay.
But my thing is this: if you take them and move them wherever you're gonna move, where you gonna move them? Out in the country, on a farm somewhere. I mean, you got to put them somewhere. If you saying you're getting rid of all of the illegal immigrants, then give all of the homeless those jobs that those illegal immigrants work, and give them a place to live.
People don't want to work.
Yes, but
Some of them don't. Some of them. There are some homeless people that are there because of.
Yeah, but the dope man not gonna
95%
move.
of them niggas
The
don't want to
liquor
work.
store on the corner is not moving. Those two things and all those things are still gonna be there. So while you trying to reintegrate whoever it is back into society with whatever problems they have,
Appreciate you,
their
bro.
problems is still right there, easily accessible. So maybe if you take them and move them away from their problems for a second and show them a different world, the ones that want to change will still change no matter wherever they go. But if you take the ones that can't access the things that they can normally access and get them to access something different, then maybe you have a chance by taking them away from that. That's all we're saying. We're not saying you got to live there forever. We're not saying you got to be prisoner to the moment. Shit, you don't want to go, then don't go.
If I was the mayor of New York, I'd get all the homeless people and send them niggas to Staten Island. Put them niggas in the landfill.
Yo, this nigga and I'm bad, and I'm terrible.
Yeah, send them to Staten Island.
But then you send them and make them somebody else's problem.
Let
But
them work the landfill.
this is also a problem that I think
They can chill.
the reason I don't agree with the position that you're both making is because ultimately it's a band-aid solution. If ultimately the problems that we have in the city are the problems we have, it's the access. I don't think that even people who don't have these problems should have as much access to the things we have. I don't think that we should have them because I live in the city. I don't like the access to drugs that I have. I don't like the access to the things that are not good for our society. Those things are, yes, in inner cities, and it's going to be hard to get rid of them. But again, at the end of the day, these people are going to come back into society at some point, irregardless. And those same things will always be a trigger, irregardless. So to me, it's a band-aid solution to say let's isolate these people so they can get better, bring them back, rather than being like whatever these issues are within our city that are causing these people to go into these types of cycles is what needs to be changed, so ultimately they can integrate into our society and have a better lifestyle. I don't want, just because I live in a city does not mean I want these access of things to be there. I don't agree with that. I don't align with that, and it's not a problem for me because I don't have that addiction issue, but I don't think it should be accessible to me or anybody realistically anyway. Like I don't agree with as many fucking convenience stores as we have on my block because I just know it's not a good thing. And I know somebody that's going through a rough period of time in their life where they have a depression, they have an episode of being sad or being miserable or whatever. It's easy to just be like, well, let me go buy whatever the fuck, let me go buy this, and that can start something very easily for anybody.
But Nadia, what about the people who don't abuse those things? What about the people
you shouldn't be doing it realistically though? Morally, my compass would say, why would I be drinking every day just because I can? Why would I be drinking every day just because I can?
But some people don't drink every day. Some people drink once a week.
But the thing is, do you need this access or do you just like the convenience of having it? That's the issue with Americans and people in America in general. I would rather sacrifice my convenience of having some of these things for the sake of everybody else to have safety than to just sit there and be like, oh, well, because it's not my issue, I shouldn't give a fuck.
I don't know.
Jay, I'm gonna send them to Jersey. I'm gonna send all the homeless people to Jersey. Y'all got space.
I think guns shouldn't be accessible at all. But if there's a convenience store, a liquor store, or fucking somebody could buy, some places people could buy some bud from the store, they should be able to.
Let them be in the Bronx for North.
They should not be able to because somebody else can't control their addiction. That's not fair to them. I don't know. Some people.
Let me ask y'all this: what y'all think about forget the homeless. What y'all think about the raids in Georgia? The 475 illegal immigrants that was working in the Honda plant.
They was all Chinese too.
They were there was some random race. There was like people from a country. What was it? Where were the people from? There was some random country. I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie. When I first heard it, I laughed a little. That shit was funny.
It was Asian country. It was an Asian country, but that Asian country demanded that they not be just sent to some random country. If you're gonna kick our workers out, then send them back to our country. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it should be for everybody. Why Mexico didn't want their people back? Why Mexico don't want their people back?
Because those people ran away from the violence that was going on down there. A lot of them ran away from the gang violence and the cartels and all that shit. They trying to get away from a country that will work them and pay them $10 a month to live. So it's a lot of immigrants that leave to come to America for a better opportunity to change their life. It's a lot of them that are good, hard workers. I work with some Mexicans, and them motherfuckers work. Believe me, they work.
Yeah. And many of these people were still working. They were working under temporary programs. They just overextended their work permits. It's not like there was just,
As far as on the nationalities I ever worked with, my favorite one was Korean, Chinese folks, whatever. They are my favorite. They act just like black people. I love working with them.
Me too. I had 2 Chinese bosses and 2 black bosses.
Hey, Davon, why you like working with the Asians? Because they always smile. Asians smile even when they mad. They be.
I love working with them. They serious about their money. They make sure you pay. They make sure they celebrate their holiday. They celebrate it with you. They don't get if you be good.
Yeah, they are.
They cool as hell.
They are more integrated. What's her name? Sade, she over in Thailand, and she say working with the Thai people is so because they get up early in the morning, they grind, and you know what I'm saying. And just about everybody you have an interaction with, they're friendly. They smiling. It ain't about jealousy. Oh, you got this, you got that. You know what I'm saying? This country is consumed with greed. And they hate you, Davon, because you change your life. We got to change the narrative. We got to quit hating on what somebody else is doing. What if that's what makes them successful? Let them be. Homeless people. I used to like, when the dude used to come around with the food truck in Atlanta and stuff. The government start defunding that. Where they can't. Hosea Williams, Meals on Wheels. I mean, all homeless people are not there because they lazy. Some of them got mental health issues. Give them something to reach for. Give them a safe place. I guarantee you, they would prefer to sleep in a bed than to sleep up under the bridge in a box. Even with the mental health issues, give them some mental health. Help them. Because if you just walk by, I see them every day in St. Louis too. But I can't help all of them. I'll be broke. But the government got money to help them, but won't. They got money to produce.
If some of them wanted to go back home, I wouldn't be surprised. They just couldn't get back home. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's BJ. That's the thing. The A-Town just said in the comments, South Korea welcomed them back home with no problem. You always asking this question about why their countries don't want them back. It's not like their countries don't want them back. South Korea is the strongest ally to America from any Asian country. America defended them in the Korean War in the 60s. They've been America's ally. So obviously when America says, hey, we got a bunch of your people, we want to return them, they're going to cooperate. They've been cooperating for 80 years. Mexico, if America treats countries like shit, like Mexico, China, they've never cooperated on taking illegal immigrants back. Not because they don't like their people, but because fuck America. They're not their ally. They just want to dump criminals on them when they want to. It's just about their relations with the country.
Some of them are criminals.
Dump criminals on who?
On countries that on other countries.
Who is dumping criminals on who?
America wants to dump
criminals on who?
On all these other countries, wherever they come from. Mexico.
You talking about the people that's from that country that they're sending back?
Some of them are criminals, and America likes to make it seem like.
So you want America to keep their criminal? You want America to keep their illegal criminals?
No, I want America to understand that it takes 2 to tango. That no, you can't just enforce rules upon the world. If you want a country to cooperate with you, you have to make some concessions. That's why Trump is cowering to China now, doing these temporary stays on each whatever. Because Trump will put his balls on the table, then he'll realize, oh, if I do that, they're not going to listen to me, and then he'll make a 90-day temporary stay stay, and then China will be like, oh, I'm gonna take some immigrants back now. There's an art to negotiation. You can't just act like America is.
Nah, we don't need to negotiate shit. They're not supposed to be here, and they committing crime.
BJ, but you can't, like, there's no way for you to send. There's a billion Chinese immigrants now. All these Chinese immigrants in the South that operate those marijuana farms. There's a vast majority of them that don't have any passport. They don't have their Chinese passports, and when they come there,
they shouldn't be here.
All right, but you can't kick them out. You can't put them on a plane with no.
They know, but they shouldn't be here, so we kicking them out.
BJ, physically, there's things that you can do in theory that you can't do in practice, right? A theory, you want to kick them out. In practice, they can't get on a plane with no passport. Nobody's gonna let them on the plane. Nobody's gonna take them.
We got a private plane for them
in the air. You can't make them live on a plane in the air. If they
we got a private plane for them, first class.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. How did that play out the first time? Like, that's not gonna work.
Them niggas got dropped off. What are you talking about?
BJ, it's, as far as I know, it's still being litigated on the Supreme Court.
That's the problem. We got too many. Yeah, that's the problem, bro. Like, come on. Illegal criminal. Venezuela dumped his whole prison in America. And we got to sit here
and if you chose not to let them in, you wouldn't have let them in.
In whole court to give these niggas they criminals back. Yeah, man, come on, man.
Okay, but the narrative about criminals
by the tattoos they got on their body, like, that's not a way to decide if somebody's a criminal or not.
What you said? No, what?
I said they're deciding who's a criminal and who's not based on the tattoos they got on their body.
Who's doing that?
That Mexican guy that had like the Christian tattoo that got, I think he was Mexican, he was Spanish.
You talking about is America? Who's doing that? You talking about
America is judging whether or not half of their arguments about guy is M13 or whatever the hell.
Yeah, he got MS-13 on his hand.
All right, that's not a way to.
Yes, it is. He got to go. Guess what? Venezuela did it. He locked up all them niggas. Venezuela was the worst country in the world. You know what he did? He became president and locked everyone up who had a gang tattoo. Just locked them up. No due process. Locked their ass up. Put them in prison, BJ, and then did due process.
BJ,
and then in the middle of due process, when Biden opened up the border and said anybody could just walk in America, Venezuela emptied his prison into America. His whole prison. Now Venezuela is the safest country in 1 year.
Let me ask. Okay.
In 1 year.
If you want a dictator so bad, BJ, just look at every other
it's
dictator.
Not what I want.
Dictators come with civil wars. That's what they come with.
Hey, Venezuela ain't having no civil war. Everybody have a civil war. America already had a civil war with democracy. We had a civil war. So I don't care about none of that. I'm talking about common sense. You talking about some other shit. Oh, MS-13, man. Them niggas need to go, man. They need to go.
But
Venezuela is in every sort of crisis possible. It's in an economic crisis, a social crisis, a political crisis. I don't know why you want to talk about Venezuela like anybody happy in Venezuela.
I don't care about them being happy. Nobody's happy anywhere. Y'all obviously not happy nowhere over there because everybody keep coming over here.
Not everybody.
At least we don't.
Oh man,
there's violent protests every other year in Venezuela where people get killed, where it's like a lot more. People just keep, like, I think sometimes.
I'm not talking about none of that. That's
that's
happening in America. It's happening here too.
It's not comparable, BJ. It's not.
It's happening here too. It happens everywhere. It's happening here too.
My whole thing is
El Salvador. Thank you, Adrian.
But the thing is, like, I don't even like the whole comparison trip game anyway, because at the end of the day, why are we holding ourselves to the standards of what we see in other parts of the world? I just want to hold to a standard of what I believe to be true. I do believe that we should have rules and regulations, but I don't believe in authoritative government. I don't believe in that. That's not the foundation of what we wanted anyway when we started this country. Or let me say we, but the founders of this country didn't believe in that either. So I don't believe in this.
What are you talking about? The founders of America didn't believe in
the framers, the people who made the Constitution. They didn't believe in that authoritative government either. That's why we separated from the British monarch to begin with. So my point in saying that is that ultimately, while I do believe that we should have restrictions in our government and that we should have rules, I don't necessarily align with the idea that it should be authoritative in the way that you're saying. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
And I don't need to look at other countries to reference that. I don't want what other countries.
That's not even what I did. So So I don't
You're
know.
talking about
Looking
Venezuela
for something.
and El Salvador and all. I don't care. I mean, not to sit there and say I don't care about other countries, but when indecision of what we do in America, I'm not trying to mimic anything else I see outside
Yeah,
of it.
you just made up your own point just to debate your own point. I never compared nothing. I just was telling her that it's El Salvador was the worst country in the world. They locked up all the criminals and dumped them niggas over here. They need to go back. I don't care how they go back. They need to go back.
Yeah.
Julian, I'm breathing and smiling. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yo, thank you, Julie. I'm smiling. I don't know. I'm cooling. I don't.
I'm used to them, Jay. I ain't stunned what they talking about. They
Even
just talking.
talking.
Sheriff BJ, smile. I'm crying.
I'm listening to them. I'm just trying to keep up with the bullshit they talking about.
Well, they got illegals in Guantanamo Bay. Why they don't send them back over there to Iraq? Because they want to keep them in prison and torture their ass.
Because the ones that they had in Guantanamo Bay was trying to hijack planes and shit like that. No, what do you mean?
I never seen a group of people that cater to the criminals and the goddamn the people that break the law.
No, what I'm saying is, no. See, why do you keep? Wait, time out. Okay, but those were criminals, right? Why we got them over here? Why we don't just send them back to there and let their country deal with them?
So
ask Noah. That's what I just said to Noah and Nadia. Your people. I just said that to your partners.
But I said, but they ain't doing that to those people that's in Guantanamo Bay. See, I believe if you're going to do immigration, then do it for all of them. Start with Donald Trump's wife. She illegal. She bought her immigration. Immigration shouldn't be just for people that can afford it. I mean, I don't get that narrative. This country, from time being, the British sent all of their prisoners over here, and they created a government. Yeah. So I mean, you know,
BJ,
by your theory, Noah got to go too.
By Noah.
Make that make sense. Why my American ass gotta go? Make that make sense.
Wait, that was just a joke, Noah. That was just a joke, Noah.
Hold on.
Wait.
Lost the plot.
Noah discombobulated.
Hold on, where's
Noah discombobulated.
No, hey, no, I was just, hey, oh, she didn't cut us off. No, I didn't mean that like that.
No, my camera dropped because I'm looking for my damn passport.
Be careful with words.
I'm looking for my damn passport to see what the hell.
That's right. Tell them, Noah, you hear the right way.
Wait, hey, no,
I'm a naturalized citizen. I could be the president. I've been said that.
Right. See, Noah is excluded. We talking about criminals.
Yes, my grandfather worked the hard way to get me here. He was a diplomat. He stayed in America. My father was born in California. They bred here, so we have a legal passport.
Yeah, I mean, Noah should be here. We talking about people that have come here illegally, as opposed, and some of the illegals that they came here to work and make a better situation for their families. Why are we getting rid of them? They contributing.
Y'all gonna hate me because I don't believe in this mass deportation bullshit.
Me either. I don't believe.
Time and wasting fucking tax money.
Especially, okay, if we talking about sending them back to their country, why are we sending them over to Uganda some fucking where?
Why would we send them to Africa? Let's be cool with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, so why are you sending the El Salvadorians or the Mexicans over there to Africa?
Why would we send them to Africa?
That's where they've been trying to send them to some country in Africa, the Sudan or somewhere.
Send them to Africa too.
Why send them? No, why not? Okay, if you're gonna send them, why not send them back to where they come from, as opposed to someplace they don't even speak the language, so that they can be violated? You know, now we're talking about being inhumane to people or mankind. It doesn't matter what color he is.
We play this clip.
Sound familiar to black people, don't it?
Okay, so but even though it was done to black people, does it make it right? No.
You what BJ, one of the this isn't even a fight worth fighting for you, because one of, like, it's not like it's something America can change. One of the core principles of international law, the UN Charter that America's allegedly the boss of, the fucking UN, one of the main principles is that forced entry is a violation of sovereignty. It's pretty much declaring war on a country. You can't force people on any country. That's why it's not even an American Supreme Court issue. It's, you can't force people on another country.
America was forced.
Nobody was forced, BJ. Nobody was forced. Whether it's a president you're upset at, whether it's somebody you're upset at, I don't care. That's between you and your ex-president. Nobody was forced. Ain't nobody ever dumped a prison on America. That's not reality.
El Salvador did.
No, they didn't. Somebody let them in.
The president of El Salvador did.
Show me. Prove it. I've never heard that. And if they did, then they should have gone to war over that.
Hold on.
And that little precious angel of yours deserves to have a father around. You know, for daughters and for sons, it's different things. For a daughter, that's a father figure to look up to say that is how a man should act, and someone that I ought to one day marry, someone that will protect me from a vicious world, and someone that makes me understand what strength and not brutality looks like, what justice but not revenge looks like. To have a father figure is a silent way of forming a child to be a mature citizen. And unfortunately, as we've removed dads from families, government has come in and has taken the place. So some people need help and they need social assistance. All of that should be about incentivizing the dad staying around, not the dad leaving. Unfortunately, with welfare, you can get more money for single mother assistance.
This is very true.
And so right, you agree. We're actually subsidizing single motherhood more than we are subsidizing family formation. The number one objective of any social welfare program should be, how do we keep the family together and put dads back in the family? Yes. That is the number one priority. Unfortunately, in the black community, dads are the most absent of any community. About 2/3 of all black youth will be raised without a stable father around. And I know, it's crazy, right? And that little precious angel of yours deserves to have a father around. You know, for daughters and for sons, it's different things. For a daughter, that's a father.
Yeah, I just wanted to play that clip. That was come on, man. Man shot him in the neck just for his opinions, bro. Shit crazy. And I've been reading the comments. A lot of people are evil, man.
Yeah,
a lot of people are evil, man. But they talking about he deserved it. That's what he get. All types of shit. Damn.
Well, I mean, the whole truth of the matter, though.
Damn.
I don't necessarily condone no violence, but again, it's the same thing that I see when we talk about Andrew Tate. There's things that they'll say like that, and I don't necessarily 100% disagree with anything he just said. But then you'll turn around and you'll say what we talked about before, whereas I'm okay with people dying for the Second Amendment, and he happened to be one of the people who died for it. So my whole thing is, people are not as black and white as we like to make them seem. I don't necessarily agree with his family losing him in the way that they did, but I also don't agree with his standpoint. And if you constantly are going to politicize a standpoint like that, then you better be safe. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm gonna say is, now they made him a martyr. Regardless how everybody feel, however you killed him, now you made him 100 times more powerful in his death. So whatever they killing him made it better, they just made it 100 times worse. So now anybody who thought like him is gonna eat. They just made him martyr. They made someone to look up to. I only started really listening to him about 3-4 months ago. I seen him around here and there before, but now, death make you bigger.
But 9 times out of 10 in Utah, it was a Republican that killed him.
He made himself a martyr, and I'm fine with him being a martyr. He made himself a martyr by saying that the people that die for gun violence, it's a worthy cause. It's to protect the Second Amendment. That's the definition of a martyr, dying for a cause that the person thinks is noble. So if he died for that cause, I'm fine with him being a martyr. He's definitely going to be a martyr to Republicans regardless, because he died for the Second Amendment.
Okay, so
martyr don't agree with him, but I mean,
Republicans that support the Second Amendment. Just on that issue,
nobody for their opinion, man.
And let's just make note that Kurt said 9 times out of 10 it was a Republican that shot him.
I mean,
in the South, they say it's an old white guy. Odds are it is a Republican.
But my whole thing is like he's
from Utah.
He's from Utah. Like that was shocking to me. Out of all places,
Y'all don't even know who shot him. Y'all just talking.
No,
they said it was an old white guy.
None of the facts.
They don't have nobody in custody. They don't have nobody in custody
already.
We don't even know what we're trying to say because all I was going to say is the state of Utah is conservative. So I just did not expect that. If anything, I just did not expect him to go, if anywhere, somewhere like that. That's not where I thought that he would be executed or murdered. That's what I'm saying. That is all.
It's demonic people everywhere. Actually, in the Midwest, Utah, Wisconsin, Minnesota, states like that, Wyoming, they have that's where all the mass shootings are occurring. Them niggas is weird. All them white people over there are retarded. What are y'all talking about?
I'm not gonna speak on that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I spoke on it.
Yeah, I'm not.
That was me saying that. They retarded over there.
But those are Republican states. A lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't even know why we talking Republican and Democrat. But
right. You always want to talk Republican and Democrat.
Okay, because listen, the last 4 or 5 mass shooters were actually liberal.
And you mentioned that every time. So can we mention it now?
I haven't even said the last time y'all brought up mass shooting, I didn't say shit about it. Because it don't matter. Kids should not be dying in school. So I never said nothing when Kurt brought up the mass shooters. I never said nothing about none of that shit. The only reason why I'm speaking on it now, because y'all keep saying Republican, Democrat, da-da-da-da. Man, the mass shooting out there been caused by liberals and trannies.
BJ, every time I say the word
retard on top of retard.
Every time I say the word new, before I even say the York, you start yelling about Democrats. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Even when it's got nothing to do with it. When the guy died in Crown Heights, you talked about Democrats. When the shooting happened in Crown Heights and we talked a little bit about gun control, you started talking about it's a Democrat state. Democrat.
There was a school shooting in Colorado today. Thanks, Josh. I saw that on the way to the crib. It was another school shooting today in Colorado.
But to sit there and be like, there's no reason to bring in Republican or Democrat. He's known as a Republican commentator, though. That is why. Can I just say what I wanted to say?
Go ahead. Come on, let's talk fast.
He is his whole position is that he's a political commentator and debater. So it has everything to do with that. The reason that he got gunned down is to do with his ideology of what he believes in, and it is Republican propaganda of what they say.
Y'all don't even know who shot him.
You don't know why he got shot.
Y'all don't even know who shot him.
My point in saying
they already said it's a political assassination. He was speaking on politics at a political event. What are you talking about?
Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so let's make this make sense.
If he's not a political figure and got shot. No, he was at a school debating kids when he got shot. Which ultimately tells me it probably is politically motivated.
Okay.
It's not like he was just at Walmart, just like dithering around and then got shot.
Okay, so the two educated people is up here saying it was a political assassination.
That's what the Utah mayor
That's
called
what you're using. That's what you're using to justify you saying a Republican shot him.
I'm putting common sense to the scenario.
So why you bring that up then? Kurt and Nadia is sitting here talking about, all three of y'all sitting here talking about, oh, it's a Republican state, a Republican shot him. All I'm saying is y'all don't even know who shot him.
I'm saying that I literally used the word odds are. I'm saying that all we know right now is he was a white man in black clothing.
You don't even know that.
I do. Every single article I read said that. You think they was making shit up? It was a public event. You think nobody saw a white man in black clothing?
You read articles about something that happened 5 hours ago.
I've had
you can't trust.
I have notifications from every single news.
They done had 3 people in custody and let all 3 of them go. They don't know who shot them. Use your common sense.
You really think?
Use common sense. They had 3 people in custody and let all 3 of them go.
All right, BJ. Then
how you know who shot him?
All right, then we're gonna table this discussion. We're gonna adjourn this, and we're gonna wait. I don't even know why that is remotely material to anything. I don't care what he is. We're gonna find out. I, based on what I read, I thought he was a white man from Utah, which odds are is a Republican. That's it. But let's go back to you calling people evil. Let's go back to the evil shit. Because I want to understand why you think it's evil to even say what we were saying on the group chat about Kirk's, the irony in the situation or the hypocrisy. I want to know why you decided that this was an evil thing to say.
I wasn't talking about that part. Whatever I said was evil was in the beginning when y'all was talking.
But what did I say that
was evil?
I'll go back to it. I don't know. I didn't remember that shit. I was driving while I was talking to y'all. I don't take y'all serious. I was driving while I was texting y'all.
BJ, I was at the spa.
I know. All sent me pictures, man. Big ass head.
I don't take you serious either.
I don't know why they shot son, who shot son, where he from, or none of that yet. When that come out, information.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Republican shot him. It's a political assassination. He's a Republican, but another Republican shot him. But it's a political assassination.
That's what everybody's saying. It doesn't make sense that it's a white man in Utah. Like people have
conversation.
already commented on that. That's what Nadia was literally saying. She was saying, I am surprised that he would have gotten killed in Utah. That was her whole point, that it is surprising. She wasn't saying it makes sense.
It's Democrats in Utah. Guess what? It's people that don't like his transgender approach more than anything. It's Democrats in Utah also.
By the way, on the topic of the school shooting, where
Trump won Pennsylvania and got shot at in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
On the topic of the school shooting, Kirk's opinion, is that his name? Yeah, Charlie Kirk's opinion on school shootings is that the best way to stop them is to have armed security in every school. What do you think about that, BJ? Are you in favor?
You said what?
Kirk's opinion on how to stop school shootings, which he's always harping about, is to have armed security in every school with guns.
Yes.
You agree with that?
Yeah. And metal detectors.
Going to keep your children safe, having more guns in schools?
I think
armed security guards, armed police officers. There's an armed police officer in my son's school now. Guess what? Matter of fact, Josh, didn't we have police in our school? Matter of fact, we had metal detectors, and you had to put your book bag through the fucking thing that you have in the airport. Yes,
and not one.
That's what they should have.
Happened wherever I was from.
What's wrong with y'all?
Not one.
Metal detectors is one thing. I agree with that part, to prevent guns from getting in. But why would you have armed security? Obviously, you're not going to be able to.
Why not have an officer at the school? Why not?
A police officer in every school in America?
Why not? Why not?
Because that's not the one. I think it's just not the solution. One, I think it's entirely unfeasible. It's entirely unfeasible. They're not asking for police. They were saying security. Kirk's position was security, not police officers. Because obviously it's completely unrealistic. You know how many schools there are in America? How many police officers you think
we can afford it? You keep talking about how much money America wastes in wars. We can afford it.
Yeah, you can afford it, but you don't have enough people be willing to become police officers that stand at school. I don't think that they're always trying to coax people into becoming police officers.
Instead of them writing them bullshit ass tickets, they could be at somebody's school.
All right, so less traffic police officers.
Why are people so willing to say I'm sorry about a situation rather than preventing it? If we could prevent it, why not say I'm sorry? Let's just prevent it. It's like defensive driving. You don't lead your car into the middle of the street to wait for it to hit.
Preventive maintenance, Davon. Right. They don't want preventive maintenance. They don't want that.
But it was armed police officers at that Uvalde, Texas shooting, and they were scared to go in.
This is the point that I want to make too. Yeah, like I don't, because even in Parkland shooting, they had that was the college.
And Uvalde.
Yeah,
both of them had armed police officers, and they didn't stop the shooting.
And that still didn't stop. When you're talking about things like what is it, assault rifles and stuff like that are meant to kill multiple people at one time, just having the presence of security there is not going to always change the outcome of innocent people dying. And so again, it's not that I don't agree with the end goal that you have, Davon, but the thing is that I don't agree with how you're getting that. I don't think making schools feel like prisons is the right answer to the situation. I think the answer to the situation is
okay. Just let the people keep killing the kids. Then fuck it.
you first off, you don't listen, but that's cool. We clearly see that. My point in saying that though is ultimately that I think that we need to be talking about legislation and getting more restriction on guns, so there's not a possibility of them being there.
You keep talking about restriction on guns.
Yeah, because I believe that is a true solution.
Yeah, because that's gonna we need something to happen now. You still talking about restriction on guns? We need something to happen now, man.
Naughty, I agree with your overall point. I agree that's the way it should go. That we don't have the guns, but the reality is they won't let us take their guns. So therefore, we have to protect ours with guns. That's the only preventative measure.
But the thing is,
I agree with you. If it was a common sense place, Nadia, I swear to God, I will jump on a reading rainbow.
Hey, yo, Adrian, bet it ain't gonna be no school shooting at your daughter's school.
That way.
It ain't gonna be no school shooting up there.
They don't have the same logic we have. We're assuming that people that do evil things have basic common good knowledge. That's not the case. These people are doing things with evil intentions to do evil.
Hey, yo, this is
what you're saying. I wish
let me answer your question.
Anymore, but the grand line is America make too much money off of guns, so they're not gonna get rid of them. Cool. Then that's fight fire with fire, because that's the only way we're gonna have to any chance to win. If we
bro, it's not even about that. It's not even about that.
It gets violent.
It's not even about that, bro. Just seeing a police officer or armed military vet at a school will deter a person from going in there and doing it. That's all I'm saying. It don't got to be fire with fire, because guess what? The president got assassinated and he has Secret Service all around him. So it's about who takes the first shot. I'm not talking about that. But this is what I'm talking about, Noah, Nadia. Noah, first it was you. You said, I guess he died a shaheed in the name of the Second Amendment with the laughing, crying emoji.
It wasn't the laughing. Show the emoji. It was not the laughing emoji.
Ain't that laughing, crying? What is that? You was crying?
It was supposed to be crying.
Oh, okay.
Laughing, crying.
I thought that was the laughing, crying emoji. Okay. Then I said, doesn't mean he should be killed. Nadia came and said he fought for his own death.
Yeah.
I said, y'all some demonic people.
In response to the screenshot, you're forgetting the screenshot that was sent before this, which is the quote of Charlie Kirk saying, if people die because of gun violence, it's worth it.
Unfortunately, worth it to keep right. But it's still okay, whatever.
But he literally said in quote, people dying.
Believe it was a worthy cause.
I said the truth.
Look at the laughing, crying emoji. This is the laughing, crying emoji. The man is sobbing. This is the sobbing emoji.
Okay.
Sobbing.
He was thinking from the standpoint of bipolarism. You know, only bipolar motherfuckers laugh and cry at the same time.
What? Well, okay, he was crying. But at least he believed it was a worthy cause. He dismissed gun violence multiple times when others were killed because of his unwavering belief in the Second Amendment. I said, that's dumb. What are you talking about? He's for the Second Amendment. It's a lot of people for the Second Amendment. There's people in your family that's going to be for the Second Amendment. They should be killed for that?
That's what he said.
No, but his opinion when people died, when he was told in public speeches, that college that I sent you, when he was told, what about these deaths? He said, unfortunately, these deaths have to happen. They're a consequence of it's worth it because this is how we get to keep the Second Amendment safe. So he said that to dismiss and
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
But if I point out his own words,
I'm talking about what y'all said. I'm talking about what y'all saying. Okay.
I stand behind.
Then Nadia said, my stance is actions have consequences, and he supported the actions that would lead him to his death. I am not feeling sorry for him. I hope his family and loved ones are okay. You say he supported the actions that would lead him to his death. What
Yeah.
actions did he support? He just was for
Literally
the Second
that
Amendment.
comment.
Having a gun.
That comment that he just made when he said he's okay with people dying for the Second Amendment, and that's just the reality of what happens with that. He said he's okay with that. So innocent kids, innocent people dying every day for the sake of having the Second Amendment around, he's okay with. And so he was a casualty of that exact thing that he said he was okay with. He fought for his own death. I do not feel sorrowful for that, but I do feel sorrowful for his family.
Now that
100%.
I'm reading the chat, BJ was definitely driving because he said that's dumb like 8 times. All of your responses was that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yo,
He didn't have nothing.
I'm
In
not.
response
Yo,
to that,
I
BJ said that's dumb.
don't agree with none of them people y'all like. But if they get shot in the neck, I'm gonna be like, that's fucked up. That's it.
Put Brenna comment on. Put Brenna comment on.
That's messed up, man.
It is. It's fucked up. I mean, you know, for a man to die because of what he believes, he can believe what he wants.
Damn, Bree, cold-hearted too. Live by the gun, die
Shout
by the
out,
gun.
Bree.
I didn't even mean to pull that up. How I take this shit down, Will?
Shout out, Bree.
I'll take this comment
Brenna
down.
said, I don't feel bad for his wife. She picked that MF. I'm not saying it for Will.
Yeah,
I know
I
what that
mean,
means. Anyway, yeah, going on. There was nothing evil that we said, BJ.
That's sad, Brianna. That's sad.
BJ's position was that people
Nobody should die for their
shouldn't make
opinion.
a point out of somebody's death. And it's like, to me, when you're talking about a public figure, how could you say we can't make you don't think a point was made out of 1 billion public figures' deaths before? That's the exact time that sparks change. That's the exact time that sparks discourses. That's the exact time people start talking about shit. Somebody dies.
They was
Not
wrong
making
too.
a point
Out of somebody's death.
Everybody that done it is wrong and demonic.
Do you think Malcolm X is demonic? Do you think Malcolm X is demonic?
He made a point of who death?
JFK, you know what he said right after JFK died when Elijah Muhammad told him shut the hell up and don't say nothing, when he told everybody not to say a word about JFK death. He said, what was the quote? He said about the chickens and the roost and shit. He said the chickens have come home to roost.
Yeah, because they asked him a question and he said, look, the chickens had came home to roost.
All right, you don't think that's demonic? Because under what you're saying, that's what do you think he meant by that, BJ? Did you understand that?
The chickens came home to roost, yeah.
He wasn't
Hey, BJ said that shit with a straight face like a mother.
Exactly what that meant.
You know exactly what that meant. You know what he was saying about JFK's death. You know what he's saying about America getting what America been reaping and putting out everywhere in the world. You know what exactly what he was the point he was trying to make. He was trying to make a point out of JFK death, and you just said that was demonic. So I repeat my question: is Malcolm X demonic?
No.
Okay. All right. So you just contradicted yourself.
There ain't no contradiction. You can't compare you, Nadia, and Kirk talking about Charlie Kirk and Malcolm X being questioned about people running a society who had their feet on black people's necks.
What?
Look what Charlie Kirk did.
About somebody.
You went back to the 60s about Malcolm X talking about John F. Kennedy getting killed. He said it looked like the chickens came home to roost.
Yes, because you just said that making a point out of somebody's death is demonic. You said that on the group. You said that now. Now that I tell you Malcolm X made a point out of JFK death, you telling me you not Malcolm X nor. And
no,
I know
I don't think he made a point out of Kennedy's death.
And my whole point is,
I think he just answered the question that the people asked him.
And just like that, in the last 2 minutes now, by making him a martyr, we done compared this man's death to JFK and Malcolm X.
And he's
it shouldn't even. There's no way he's on their level.
Not even close.
But just by killing him, it made him in the same breath as JFK and Malcolm X. And just in our conversation in the last 2 minutes.
That's just because Nadia and Noah talking.
No,
I care about that martyr shit, man. That martyr shit ain't talking about nothing.
In this political climate, because America is so desensitized by gun violence, we think the president got to get killed for us to make it a big deal. That it's just a regular commentator, so we ain't got to like make a big deal out of it. It's just another, you know. And I don't think it's like that in other countries where gun violence isn't so prevalent and people aren't desensitized to it. They're not just another guy. It's normal for him have this discussion about him, and it's not like he's at the likes of these people I'm talking about, but you don't need to be a president for you to spark a discourse. I think in this climate, when literally two reps got shot in their houses 3 months ago, people are starting to get shot for their political views. I think
and guess what? I said I didn't make no point to say that. I said they was that was fucked. I said that was dead wrong. But you know what happened? I just remembered why I said that. Because y'all the same three that was happy about and cool about the CEO from United Healthcare getting shot in the back of his head. So that's what made I said that. I said, yeah, y'all demonic.
When was I cool about that? Like
y'all was for that. Oh, he denied people claims and this, that, and the third. Y'all was acting like he was
his death sparked another discourse. People's deaths can spark discourses that we can start talking about the fucked up shit that people did to get them killed without us saying that they should have been killed. Without us saying that they should have been killed. If you pull up every podcast where we talked about that man, I said he should not have died. He should not have been killed. I don't like people getting shot.
I'm justifying it.
No, I was not. I was saying that, yes, it is a good opportunity to start looking about why the masses are starting to want to shoot people.
That up now.
No, I'm not. Go look back. You always want to merge me, Nadia, and Kurt into one bundle of words. You don't even know who said what.
One bundle against what BJ is saying. That I promise you. I remember that conversation. Everybody, I agree that killing is dead. We had a whole narrative about should we give people the death penalty to prove that killing is wrong, and we said no, life in prison, because taking a life, no matter how you take the life, is demonic. It's wrong. That shit is wrong. I don't give a fuck whether you're a Republican, gay, straight, or blue or black or purple. It don't make no difference. If you human, you don't deserve to die some violent death because somebody disagree with how you live or think. That shit, that's what's demonic.
I remember that too.
Didn't Kurt talk about George Floyd death? He probably did.
BJ talking about
right. And the same thing I said.
Talking about me, Noah. He talking about Kurt.
And by the same token, I said that he didn't deserve to die either.
Yes, he did. No, I'm just playing.
What?
Kirk referred to George Floyd as a scumbag. I'm pretty sure I've heard BJ say that too.
No, I ain't calling him
Steven Jackson. I'm gonna be mad as hell, man.
I called him a piece of shit.
A piece of shit. That's the word.
And that he put himself in the position to get killed. Like it made it right.
I never said it was right. I never said it was right. I said he should have went to jail. But I'm never gonna have no sympathy or empathy for a nigga that put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, kicked her door in, robbed her, and went to prison for that. I'm never gonna feel I don't feel no empathy for him. No.
BJ, so why I gotta feel empathy for a man that said 1 billion times that he does not care about what's going on in Palestine? It's all Hamas's fault. Palestine is whatever. He's literally told the Palestinian, "There's no Palestine. Your country doesn't exist." Blah blah blah. Why I gotta care? Why I'm evil?
No, I didn't say you had to care. No, I didn't say you had to care.
What I gotta do? I just can't talk about anything he did because he's dead now. Otherwise, I'm evil.
Nah, you could. It's still evil. It don't care. It don't matter. It's still evil. You could say something that's evil. You could have an evil thought. People have evil thoughts. People say evil things. The tongue. What they say about the tongue in the Bible, Kurt? What they say about the tongue in the Bible, Kurt?
What? What they said?
I don't know.
I ain't never affiliated with the Christian faith like
I thought
that.
You knew. Nadia, what they say about the tongue in the Bible?
I don't know what
they say some shit about the tongue in the Bible.
I don't know which quote you're referring to.
Well, the tongue in the Bible speaks with split tongue, don't it? Because a lot of stuff that's in the Bible has been debunked now. That's not true. That we Christian, we doing God's work. I think in the Hebrew and Greek language, they never spoke of God, or the word God didn't even exist. That's an American word.
BJ,
created.
What up?
The Bible said 82 things about the tongue. I asked ChatGPT and it gave me a list of 12 quotes about the tongue.
Yeah. A lot of white on white crime. And what, man? How you know that? What if it was a black man? Nah, I ain't.
No. They would have said that by now. If anybody saw a black person in the vicinity, they would have been said that.
Never mind.
I don't think it was no black people at that event.
Never mind. Talking bad about George Floyd. So what that mean? I'm talking about Charlie Kirk, talking bad about George. What? You tell me something good about George Floyd then.
He was a father.
He was a father.
He wasn't no goddamn father.
What?
That
Nigga was a dope
busting a
fiend.
nut.
Nigga
What
had
the
a baby.
fuck is good
Nigga
about
had
that?
a baby. That's
You
about
gotta
it.
bust a nut to be a dad, nigga.
Nigga had a baby. That's it. He wasn't no father. He had a baby.
Have you
nigga
heard us
still
talk about Charlie Kirk being a father like an hour ago? When we was talking about Charlie Kirk being a father, you was really
That's why
complimentary,
you
like
have
he's a hero.
for the
You don't
man.
even know if he's.
No, I never spoke on him like he was a hero. Stop it.
When I joined the podcast, that's what you were saying. When you played that little clip of him saying about the.
Yeah, you was pouring some empathy points. Oh, look at him. You know, this man has a father and his wife and other. So if he could have empathy,
No, I didn't.
Can I?
There's a difference between a man that has a child and a man that takes care of his child. Fuck is y'all talking about?
George Floyd took care of his kid.
No, the hell he didn't, man. What are you talking about?
Come on, yes he did.
No, he did. George Floyd was a dope fiend nigga that just got out of prison, living way the hell up in where that nigga was living at. His daughter lived in Houston, in Port Arthur, Texas. What are you talking about?
How do you know that Charlie Kirk took care of his kids, BJ?
All right, man. I ain't.
You don't.
How do you know?
You just make an assumption about people you don't know anything about. And my whole thing is this. I think it's interesting going back to what the conversation was originally about. It's like our whole history is all we know when it comes to making political stances is when people die. JFK, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, now this motherfucker. I mean, Charlie Kirk.
Thank you, Mom.
My whole point in saying that is that a lot of times in order to have a stimulating conversation, we have to see people die in America. That's not something that I think traditionally
I don't have to see people die to have a stimulating conversation. You got to be.
I would argue.
You got to be evil. You got to be demonic just to think like that. I gotta see people die to have a stimulating conversation.
Yes, DJ. 250,000 Palestinians had to die for people to start talking about it in America. What are you talking about?
Why we gotta talk about that in America? We got our own people
dying.
Because you're funding it. Why we gotta talk about Palestinians in America? We got our own American people right here dying in our face. When black people been dying in America for years. I ain't seen no Palestinians on stage talking about. Matter of fact,
these arguments are so ridiculous. Palestine is not sending drugs or guns into America. America is the biggest funder of the war. America is involved in the war. Okay. America is more involved than Israel in the war. America
that ain't me. I'm not involved in
more than Israel.
I'm not involved in
America.
No,
so you can't tell me that Palestine
BJ.
to America. Palestine ain't never sent drugs to America. Palestine ain't never sent nothing but refugees to America. So why we gotta fix y'all problems if we don't even know about them?
You talking about you talking about us talking about your problem? Why we gotta talk about your
problems?
We didn't create nothing. We got our own problems. We didn't create Palestine problems.
But BJ,
we not talk, man. Take that shit to the people that's doing it. We don't got nothing to do with that.
BJ started it was the British people, and they dumped the problem on America. And since the 60s up until today, if America has vetoed every single attempt by the other 4 countries to end the war. If America could end the war with a snap of a finger. America could create a Palestine with a snap of a finger. America could keep it without any war or anything with a snap of a finger. Don't act like America's this third-party country that I'm trying to drag into our war. America is our war. Without America, there would be no war.
You talking to me about America and all this shit and Palestine and y'all war and all that shit? Talk to Nadia about that shit. She's the political science major. I ain't gonna be in the seat with these. But if you want to get your message to Donald Trump, you need to get your message to somebody that's gonna help you with that situation. You talking to black people that don't got nothing to do with that.
Okay, but BJ
help you with that situation.
BJ, can I say?
We got our own problems in America.
Can I make one point though, BJ? See, you classified this dude George Floyd. He didn't take care of his family. Well, I just Googled it. It said, yes, George Floyd took care of his child and his family, moving from Minneapolis for better work opportunities to provide for them. His daughter's mother and family members described him as a loving, devoted, and playful father who was so happy to have his daughter. He continued to support them financially even while they were living in Minnesota.
He
and was remembered as a great provider for his family. That man took care of his child, so he was a father.
Hey, ain't no nigga, ain't no dope fiend nigga trying to get off a $20 counterfeit bill in the CVS. No damn good father, nigga. I don't care what you say or Google say, nigga.
He still took care of his. He still took care of his daughter, and it may not be on the level that you taking care of yours, but he might have been in the street. He took care of his child. His child loved him. He had a good relationship with his child, and he provided for his mama. So let's not throw a dirt on the man's name unless we gonna throw dirt on this dude Kirk's name.
Do what you want. I'm gonna do what I want. Do what you want. I don't care
he
about
wasn't
you
even on the
dirt
street.
on Charlie Kirk name. I'm gonna do what I want. What are you talking about? You think I care about what you just read? This nigga was a dope fiend nigga trying to get off a $20 counterfeit bill and didn't want to go to jail and was on goddamn what he was on, Davon? Fentanyl. And you trying to sit here and convince me that he was a good dad? Get out
he
of here.
still worked 2 jobs.
Get out of my face with that.
He was a security guard and a delivery driver who lost both his jobs during COVID. He clearly
what
had
y'all trying
jobs.
to do right here? What y'all trying to do? Convince me of George Floyd?
No, trying to convince you that you let stereotypes convince you that the black man is a shitty dad and the white man is a good dad when you don't know nothing. He had
I'm
two
black.
good jobs.
That's a dumb narrative. I'm black and I take care of my kids.
But I'm saying
Davon is black and he take care of his kids. The name of this podcast is Good Dad, Bad Son. Try it with somebody else.
You just don't know whether Kirk or Floyd is a good dad, or bad dad, but you immediately made certain assumptions.
I don't care nothing about Kirk being a good dad or Floyd being a good. I said what I said. So
no, it's the whole like it's the framing that you use though, because you made it seem.
So what?
You did. You framed it as if you know these people that you don't know, making assumptions about these two men.
I'm talking about them the same way you talking about them. Kirk talking about them the same way I'm talking about them.
No, I haven't. I have not just talked bad things. I used the things that were factually present to make an assumption about what I said. I did not just go off of tangent and say, oh, he's a bad father. I never said Kirk was a bad father. I never said George Floyd was a bad father. I didn't say anything.
So then why are you even speaking on it now?
Yeah, I'm speaking towards you.
Kirk talking. All right. So let me deal with Kirk. Let me deal with Kirk and Noah, because they're the ones that's speaking on it. You never spoke on it, so let me deal with Kurt and Noah. You want to talk about factual things? It's a fact that he's a dope fiend nigga that was trying to get off a $20 counterfeit bill. Don't try to convince me this nigga was a good dad. Any nigga that's in the streets smoking dope on fentanyl and trying to get off a $20 counterfeit bill can't be no good dad. I don't care what y'all talking about. And y'all two don't know nothing about being a good dad. And if Kurt want to try to convince me that he's a good dad while he's a dope fiend nigga trying to get a $20 counterfeit bill off, he crazy too. That's
if he has an addiction,
I'm not reading nothing. I'm saying it. And it don't got to be George Floyd. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. Anybody that's a dope fiend nigga out here in the streets being a dope fiend and trying to get off a $20 counterfeit bill, going to jail for that cannot be a good dad. Cannot. It's impossible.
You wouldn't risk it.
It's impossible.
You wouldn't risk it. I'm not risking going to jail for a $20 counterfeit bill because
it's impossible to be a good dad.
So how is that possible?
Now what's factual is the best thing he could have did was die. His daughter got 30, 40 mil. His family's straight now. That's the best thing he could have did.
You think being a father is just about providing? As I'm pretty sure
providing now.
Charlie Kirk ain't spent a second in his house. He's
always part of being a good dad is providing. Part of being a good dad is
part
providing.
It's part of it, but it's not the beginning and end of fatherhood. It's not the beginning and end of fatherhood. It's plenty of dads that provided but didn't have time to be a father at all.
It's a major part of it. It's one of the only parts of it as far as being a dad. Provide.
It's the only thing we know. Women love nature.
Provide for your family.
Men don't know how to do that because y'all are busy loving it.
Yeah, how they gonna sit up here and try to convince me what being a good dad is? Get out of here.
But the fact that you would even state that someone's presence, you don't know how that family feels. 30 million for a life, you don't. Whatever the fuck, you don't know. I'm sure they would want their dad. I'm sure a lot of people would want their dad over the money. I would want mine.
Not no dope fiend dad.
I don't know any girl though.
Not no dope. Do y'all got dope fiend dads?
Oh, no, my dad isn't a dope fiend.
Okay.
But also don't. I choose to believe what the family says. If they say that they believe him is a good father, then I'm sure they will want
Yeah, I'm
their
sure
father.
that. Yeah. Niggas
Brenna,
be gang banging and dying in the streets, and that's the first thing the family say too. Oh, he was such a good kid. This nigga got 5 bodies.
Brenna saying
Imagine if he
straight
wasn't a
factual
dope fiend, he
from
would have been worth more than 30 million.
Oh, my bad, y'all. I lost track. Let me stay on top of things. I'm
Platinum
saying
and
he had
Brenna's
some bad
comment.
things to say when it came to others' death, calling George Floyd a scumbag. He was a scumbag, Dre. He
He
said the
did-
legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. is exaggerated. I don't agree with that.
He said a lot worse things about MLK. He said MLK was an awful person. He's always been dragging. I don't know what he got against MLK. He's always been dragging MLK. What he said, what was his quote was he said MLK was awful. He's not a good person. He said one good thing that he didn't actually believe. That was his take on MLK.
Dawu said George Floyd worked at the same club as the cop that killed him. The owner of the club said the people love George more than the cop that killed him because of his political views and his godly beliefs. It said that he
Godless.
I agree with that up until the word killed.
It's sad that Kurt got killed.
Thank you for restating it.
No, listen. See, I don't care. You can say what you listen. You can say whatever you want to say. I told you, like I'm never gonna. Listen, man.
See, this is what I'm trying to.
Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say, dog. Get it off.
No,
Get it off. I ain't about to
that
defend
makes
it.
me frustrated. He doesn't deserve to die because he did drugs. In the
But
same way
Charlie
that I
didn't
don't
deserve
believe.
to die despite being openly racist. Both are wrong.
Both are wrong. Both deserve to live.
I agree with you, Brianna. I agree with you. I didn't say he deserved to die. I don't think neither one of them deserved to die.
You just said he's worth 30 million. His death is worth 30 million. Is Charlie's death worth? Because they're about to get a lot of money too.
Yeah, they're about to get a lot of money too. I said if a dope fiend nigga in my family died and my family got 30, 40 million, good job, nigga.
What about if a racist piece of shit died and your family got 30 million? How you gonna feel about that?
Good job.
Good job. All right. Well then, there we have it.
Good job. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Everybody got money. All that matters is money.
Well, the Bible does says, "For the love of money leads to all evil."
I know one thing: niggas died for a lot less.
The Bible says, "For the love of money leads to all evil."
Appreciate it.
I was talking about this recently. Somebody asked me if I believed that money was the root of all evil, and I thought about it for quite a minute. And I don't really think money is I feel like the traits in humans that make money the root of all evil are like greed. Like if humans weren't so greedy, I think greed and scarcity are the root of all evil. I don't think money is the root of all evil.
Well, you know why, Noah? Because they keep quoting that verse wrong. They keep saying money is the root to all evil, and it states for the love of money. When you place love for money over all your other morals, then that's evil. That's evil shit.
That's demonic.
Well, yeah, it's the
demonic shit, BJ.
greed. It's the greed that we have amongst people to make the decisions that we make is the reason, and the scarcity mindset that you can't have more.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I'd rather some people be in love with money than what other people be in love into doing. Sometimes murder and mass destruction and hurting people and all that shit. If your love is money, then
most of
it might not be that bad of a person. Now, what you do with your money might be another thing. But if a person loves money and that's all he got to love, then so fucking big. That might be saving him from doing something else.
Davon,
how do you put things? Somebody might love money but don't do nothing bad with it. Like BJ loves fucking money. I don't know if you niggas know that nigga love money. He don't do it. He don't sacrifice himself in type of morally or nothing like that. He ain't a bad person. Some people just love money, nigga, and that don't mean they do anything to get it. They just do what they have to do to get it. That don't mean they go sell their ass or go sell their soul. It just means, nigga, I'm out.
But there's some people that will kill other motherfuckers because they love money.
Exactly. How many people do you know? Davon, out of everybody you know that got killed, okay, how many of them do you think their killing had anything to do with money? whether they owed money, whether they were going to get life insurance out of it. How many of the people you know
I mean,
that
George Floyd got killed for no reason. It was over nothing. And then his family got money. So
I would say at least 75% of killings have some trace. You could trace it back to money. It's not that loving money is wrong.
His daughter said, "My daddy changed the world." She would have never said that while him alive.
I'm not making fun of
She
that.
had. I know that. I know
My
from
daddy
all.
changed the world.
I know from all the accounts, he had a good relationship with that girl, that little girl. You know, him, his parents, you know, even though, you know, him and his baby mama might not been together, he loved that little girl. He might have had a problem with drugs, but, you know, his relationship with his child had nothing to do with his drug addiction.
On his
And
relationship
then
with
also
his
too,
child,
I don't like
he know.
I don't like the idea of saying that two things can't be true at once. You can have a drug addiction and be a loving father. You can have two things can be true at one time. You don't have to just say just because this
you can't. So let me ask you
not
this.
in all cases, but in some cases it can be possible. Yes,
Let me ask you this. Does a drug addict love drugs more than his child?
No, not always.
No, not all the time.
So why a drug addict can't get off the drugs for their child?
Because it's chemical. It's a chemical imbalance that you're trying to repair, and if you don't have the right tools to do so, you will continuously go down the same rabbit hole, because at that point it's not only just a decision, but now it's a chemical thing within your body and a response that your body needs it. That's what happens when people talk about withdrawals. People literally get sick, and you can die from having a withdrawal from certain drugs.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
talking
not.
about, you
So
talking
it's
about
not
heroin.
this
We
whole
could
thing of
talk. We ain't got to
choice.
talk about heroin. We can talk about crack then weed or something. You know what I mean?
A lot of
Not just
people do
heroin.
get off drugs for their kids too. It's not like drug addicts all stay on drug addicts for the rest of their life. A lot of
I'm
drug
talking
addicts.
about drug. I'm talking about. I'm willing to bet I know more drug addicts than y'all. And the drug addicts that I know love them drugs more than their children. That's why they give their children up. They sell their children. I know stories of 4 or 5 year old daughters, girls that was left in hotel rooms and were raped by multiple men because their mother was on crack. So all that bullshit, y'all talking some bullshit. Y'all don't know.
Well, I think I know.
Any drug addict with children love them drugs more than their children. They wouldn't be on drugs.
I just said that I don't believe in that.
I agree.
I know it for sure because I was a drug dealer, so I know it for sure.
I agree with you partially. A personal relationship I have with a person that smoked crack, which was my sister, my little sister. She was on crack for a long time. She went to school. She always took care of kids. She never sold nothing to get it. She earned it. She got her master's. She got her master's, her bachelor's. Her kids are well off. She invested in her kids. And, you know, like, after she got her master's and bachelor's, she sell real estate, and she been living in Vegas for 40 years. But she eventually just walked away from crack. But while during the time she was doing crack, she still cared for her children. She did what was right so that they could have a better life. It never interfered. You know what I'm saying? Now, crackheads are a different thing. I think people that smoke crack and crackheads are two different things. Them crackheads will sell their soul for a rock. But there are some people that smoke crack. I watched my sister smoke crack. And guess what? She got up every day. She went to school. She went to work. She took care of kids.
Yeah, they call functioning crackheads, functioning drug addicts.
But see, this
right. And so, but that didn't make her a bad parent. She did what she's supposed to do for her kid on her own little personal time.
If you're a drug addict with kids, you're a bad parent.
BJ, there's drugs where you could die if you try to get off them without the proper support. There's drugs where literally the withdrawal of it is.
Her sister just walked away from drugs with no problems.
I don't know if it's crack. I don't know how much crack she was consuming.
Talking about heroin. I know heroin. Yeah, heroin, and some of those pills.
All right, isn't that dope? What even is dope? Cocaine or heroin?
Dope is everything. They call everything dope.
Oh.
They call weed dope.
So what was George on? You keep saying it was dope.
So Wait. So if Davon is smoking weed,
probably heroin.
okay. But you saying if Davon's smoking weed, he's a bad parent? I don't get that. That don't make that.
Weed is, guess what? Weed is different than crack. But
But you just said weed is dope. You said anybody that's a dope, just smoke dope or do dope is a bad parent. Let's keep to the narrative now. Just because
let me finish saying what I was gonna say. If you let me answer, then I'm always gonna stand on what I say.
Okay.
Everything dope. That's what I don't call weed dope. I said people call she asked me what dope is. I said people call everything dope.
Right.
But if you I know niggas that smoke weed can't function without smoking the weed. I know niggas that can't function without smoking weed. No, you're not a good parent. No, you're a junkie. What you mean? It's a drug. You're a junkie. I know people that can't function without smoking weed. You're a junkie.
Weed is not a drug.
So what are you talking about then, Kurt?
Why are you talking about it, Kurt?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You keep saying weed is a drug, but you even said you don't classify. Some people can be functioning and still take care of their children. It doesn't make them bad parents.
I'm not saying everyone that smoked crack or everyone that did drugs didn't take care of their children. I'm saying if you're a drug addict, you're not a good parent. You're not a good parent, bro. You can't be a drug addict and a good parent.
I think it's possible. I don't think a lot of cases.
You can take care of your kids as a drug addict, yes. But if you're doing something to harm to put your children in harm and to harm yourself, how that make you a good parent?
Well, to be honest, that's why I just made the discussion of the fact that I don't think at that point with certain drugs it's always an open choice, but rather it is a chemical imbalance that you're talking about. So if you don't have the proper resources to handle the withdrawal and to handle getting clean, then you're going to recycle into those same patterns. That doesn't mean that you don't love your kids or want the best for them or want the best for yourself. But if you don't have the right access to the things you need, you can't be the best version of yourself. But I think it's an assumption to make to say that these people or all are not good parents or they're not trying to. And there's
I never said all.
What can whatever. I don't really care what you said. My point in saying circumstances is I'm just saying that I don't believe that we should be tagging.
You keep saying the same thing. Come on. Close out.
Hush, man. Like you talk.
It's a terrible example for your children. Now y'all really do be repeating yourself. We gotta go. Y'all be
BJ, I'm the facilitator when Will's out.
You said it's a chemical imbalance and all this other shit. Kurt just said his sister walked away from that shit with no problem. You talking about withdrawals. You got to know what drug you're talking about. You're talking about withdrawals. Heroin, you'll have some withdrawals. Pills, Xanax, what's them pills? What's them other pills, Dave? Oxy and all that. You'll have some withdrawals. We're mostly talking about crack and weed. The drugs that you're gonna have withdrawals with, okay, I understand that. But regardless of what, if you love your children, you're gonna do whatever you gotta do for your children. Just like people say they're gonna die for their kids and all that. Well, get clean for your kids. Don't sit here try to give me no excuses about no junkie drug addict motherfuckers. I don't care about them. I don't care about none of that. If you got kids and you a junkie with kids. That's it. You ain't no good parent.
I smoke every day. But one thing about it, Dallas, everything he got his already. She good.
They're trying to convince me that a junkie is a good parent.
BJ, Maine made a good comment. He said you can be a loving father and still not be a good father.
I said I agree with that, no?
Yeah, I wasn't there, sorry. But that's what I think. Yeah, so you keep talking about like it's just either you a father or you a junkie with kids. No, you could be a loving junkie. He's not talking about drugs. You could be a loving junkie. You could maybe failing to provide but still able to love. You could be able to provide but not able to love. It's not one way to be a
I didn't say they don't love their children. I said you're not a good parent.
Y'all two had two different meanings of junkie. Me, BJ, and maybe Kurt, I don't know. But me and BJ, when we think of drug addict, we think she living in a crack house, the baby's in danger.
No, I'm not thinking that. Speak for yourself. I'm not thinking.
Well, that's what I'm thinking when y'all go on the way there. I don't know
anybody that's on drugs. Kurt's sister wasn't in a crack house. I'm talking about anybody that's on drugs. If every day you're taking drugs, then you're not a good parent. I don't care who it is.
I don't know. I don't smoke crack.
I don't agree with you.
Every day. Right.
We don't agree on a lot of stuff, so that's fine. We don't got to agree. Yeah, but I'm a parent, and I'm not gonna use drugs. If when it comes down to my children, I'm not gonna use drugs. Whatever's gonna fuck me up in my life or take me away from my children, I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it.
That's good for you. I'm glad.
I know for sure. Just like I stopped drinking. Yeah, nah, I don't do no. I'm sobered up. Nah, you know why? Because that shit that shit almost took me away from my kids, man. For real.
Yeah, alcohol
almost messed up my livelihood. I haven't had a drink since December 23rd, 2024. Nah, that's apparent. When I decided to change my life, come home and change my life, because Eli said, "Where you at, Dad? Where you at?" When he had his birthday party in New York. Dad, where you at? He had all his uncles there. He had all this. He told me about all this money, all his uncles, all the people that was at his party, but he didn't understand where his father was at. That's all I need to hear. Y'all can't convince me of no good parent doing drugs.
But at that point, did you stop smoking weed?
Nigga, that's supposed to shake you. Your spirit is supposed to take over, and something's supposed to wake up inside of you. Man, this is some bullshit. I ain't doing this no more. Look at that baby. Come on, y'all tripping. This shit is spiritual, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to say on that one. All I can say though is I respect any parent that is trying and they do have to deal with some type of addiction, because I know it's not a linear process, but that doesn't mean that you're not a good parent if you are trying to get clean, or if you're trying to do the right thing by your children despite what you're going through. That's what I can say.
No, what you was about to say?
I forgot, but it was. I was just about to say. Even when I looked up which list of drugs kill you when you start, like what withdrawals kill you when you start removing them, the first one was alcohol. If you have a serious alcohol addiction, when you try to get off it, it could literally kill you.
Come on, man. But
I didn't even know that. I just Googled. I just asked ChatGPT.
No, I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking I was listening to you and I thought about something. But we'll sit here and talk about people with alcohol problems are great parents too. They're good parents too. They just need time to get off of alcohol before they crash and die with the children in the car. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, BJ, if you give me I just think it's a scale. And I feel like when you talk about people that are on drugs, you act like they're not a father at all. They're not a parent. You're just a junkie with kids. You just came and made kids. It doesn't take nothing to make a kid. Like, I feel like you're saying they're absolutely not parents. And I'm not saying that. Obviously, if I compare you to a man who still has addiction and is drinking all the time around their kids, obviously you're a much better father, BJ. But it's like there's a scale. You can't just strip away drug addicts from their fatherhood rights because you think it's either good father or not a father. There's something in the middle, and it's the person that's trying.
Yeah, see, I don't.
You don't see no middle.
Y'all could, that's how y'all feel. But when I'm talking to a man, and I'm talking about being a good dad, I ain't sugarcoating none of that shit. Can't no nigga come to me and tell me he on drugs and he trying and he's suffering or that. I don't want to hear that shit. That's me. Y'all don't have to feel like me. Y'all don't have to think like me. But when I'm talking to men, that's why men follow me. Because when I talk to men, I talk to them like men. That's some bullshit. I keep it real with them. I ain't sugarcoating none of that shit. All men. I ain't sugarcoating none of that shit. It could be somebody I'm with every day. You doing some bullshit, nigga. I don't know what y'all talking about. But I talk to men. I don't know who y'all talk to on a daily basis or where y'all getting your information from. But I talk to men on a daily basis. And we push each other. We push each other. That's why I'm around people like Will. That's why I'm around people like Platinum. That's why I'm around people that push me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell a quick story about Platinum. I didn't even want to drive to take my stepdaughter to college because I had to work and shit. I didn't really want to take that drive. I drive for a living. I didn't want to take that. But I was on the phone with Platinum, and Platinum said, "Nigga, I'll drive you. I'll drive you, bro. No, just come get me. I'll drive you. Fuck that, man. That girl, she wants you to take you. She wants you to take her to school. You got to take her to school, bro. You can't let her down." And that shit sat with me the rest of that night. He don't know that I never said nothing. That shit sat with me the rest of the night, and I thought about that shit then. Yeah, I'll be letting her. I gotta take her. I didn't even bother him. I didn't even go get him. I did it myself. I didn't want to, but I knew I would be letting that little girl down. You got to do stuff that you don't want to do when you got to do it for your children. You can't sit here and talk to me about somebody that, they can't do this or it's hard. Everything is hard. Life is hard. No, life is hard, bro. My life ain't peaches and cream. My life hard every day. What are you talking about? Come on. You gotta surround yourself around the people that's gonna be there with you. For real, that's gonna motivate you. I'm not gonna sit in front of no man that's having a problem when it come to these babies and sugarcoat this nigga or stroke his addiction. I'm not. Nigga, you some bullshit. You better get off them drugs. You's a coward. You's a sucker. That's how I talk to men. Everywhere. That's how I talk to them. Any man. Man, you's a sucker. That's some sucker shit. Straight up. And that man right there, Platinum, said, nah, man, that girl depend on you, BJ. Hell no. After I told her no. I did tell her no.
I mean, it's the same story with my sister. Even though she knew she had an addiction, she still pushed through. She worked full time. She went to school full time. And what she did is took herself out of the community and moved all the way to Las Vegas. Didn't know nobody. And you know, Las Vegas is a real expensive state. But she still, and she still took care of her kids. You know, by the time my nieces graduated from high school, they had like a 980 credit score. She built their credit. She kept them in school. You know, she became a teacher, and she talked to people coming out of prison.
If it's possible, Kurt, my bad, but if it's possible, I would like to get up here. And if she's comfortable with it, I would like to get her up here and talk to her. Those are the type of people I like to talk to. I can't deal with your sister.
I'll see if I can get on her.
That's the spirit I align with. That spirit right there, your sister. I align with people like that.
You know, but she was a good parent, even though she had an addiction. She eventually found her way off of the addiction, but even during her addiction, she still strived for her children.
That's good.
Yeah, but that's to his point. You know, you eventually get there. That don't mean you got there that day. I don't think he can speak for himself, but I don't think he means to call you weak. The strength is getting over that weakness and becoming better than doing that.
Right.
Right. It sounds fucked up, but I get me personally. It's many times BJ pushed me over a hump forcefully, and I mean like a dickhead. I tell BJ all the time he's a dickhead. He's talking about men, man. But you know how many times he pushed me over the edge to do something?
Talking to men.
And I did it. Word. And I tell anybody, he's the biggest asshole. But sometimes the asshole run shit, like all the time. The asshole run shit.
I'm just talking to men. I'm talking to men, bro. Men.
You're gonna be the one to tell you.
Men gotta be able to talk to men. I expect Noah and Nadia not to get what Andrew Tate is saying and not feel that shit. I expect them not to. I feel that shit. I like that shit. I like that. Guess what? When I was 14, 15 years old on the basketball team, my coach used to curse us out. I used to laugh. Y'all think I talk crazy? My mom's said
this nigga talk crazy.
My mom's said some things to me.
This nigga talk crazy every day before I got the license to CD. I mean, disrespect. Oh, you stupid. Do this, you that. You can't get this. The moment I got it, this was the first nigga laughing and joking. Man, sometimes you just, you know, some niggas gotta hear it. Men gotta hear it differently. That's all.
I don't got an issue with you talking to men like that at all. I think you should get hired for interventions. Like, I understand that. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But there's a difference when you're talking to somebody to help them versus when you're talking about somebody. That's the difference between an asshole and somebody that's trying to make somebody do something. When we're talking about dead George Floyd, I don't think you're trying to get him to get his shit together because it's too late for that. So there's a difference between when you're talking about somebody. That's you just being an asshole.
I'm just saying that to anybody else. My opinion on it. But I said the same thing.
I agree with that part. Talk to men like that. I agree. That's how I would teach my son to talk to men.
I said the same thing about Eric Gardner though too. When Eric Gardner got choked to death on the corner, I said the same thing about him. He should have got off the corner.
Help people after they dead. Like, I think it's more beneficial to say that.
He should have got off the corner. Get off the corner. You arguing? It's a 50-something-year-old man. You're arguing with the police, and I'm not justifying his death. I'm not doing that at all. I don't think none of them should be dead, not even George Floyd. Even though I kicked the shit about him or whatever, I don't feel like he should be dead. I know people love him. I know he has a mother that love him, a daughter that I know that. You know what I'm saying? But Eric Gardner stood on the corner to argue with police about selling cigarettes as a grandfather. Get off the corner.
Man, it's not about
come back when them niggas leave. It's
not about Eric Gardner no more or George.
That's what I'm
Floyd
saying. And then he lost his life.
It's about the kids that see that shit, and he's saying, "Yo, you don't be on the corner selling cigarettes, and you won't be such and such." You know what I'm saying? I don't. Yeah, yeah.
It's survival tactics, man. Survival skills. It's the world. It's the universe. Y'all got to know what's going on.
I agree that we need to teach our sons and daughters. Ain't nothing in them streets. The same thing that was in the streets when my father was growing up is the same things in the streets with Nadia. It's the same. The streets ain't going. How did they say it? The game don't change, just the players.
Hey, and I felt so good when I took her down there, bro. I felt so good about it, man. And stayed down there. I ain't leave till about 5, 6 o'clock. She had to, do her room and all that, but I felt good about taking her down there. Word up.
You see how I had to struggle with, because I had to take care of my kids.
Come on, I saw that.
I had to, eliminate a few things, but I wasn't even really in the streets then when I was in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Every time you came by where I was at, in the house, we go out, we play handball, we play chess. I wasn't in them streets like that. And then anytime we did go around the street, what did I do? Hey, I'm getting ready to go.
I'm going to take it a step farther. I'm going to further. I was a bullshit ass dad for a long time. I had Eli in hotels and shit, man. We trapping out of. I was a bullshit ass dad. What are you talking about?
I remember that.
I'm riding around with scales, pistol, suspended license, Eli in the car.
All right.
What are you talking about, bro? We in hotel rooms where niggas getting robbed and tied up and shit. What are we talking about? I got Eli with me. 1, 2, 3 years old. On the outside, people would be like, "Oh yeah, he always got his son with him. He a great dad." I was a bullshit ass dad, putting my son in some bullshit. Thank God nothing ever happened. I was a bullshit ass dad. A nigga going in and out of jail is a bullshit ass dad. I was a bullshit dad for a long time. What are we talking about here?
Right. But we talk about somebody that's consistent. I mean, you there. Like you never seen me take my kids to the pool hall. I'd get in the streets and do whatever dirt we was gonna do. But my kids, I protected them from the streets. I told them about the streets. I let them know ain't shit out here. Ain't shit out here. And they turn out for the most part. I got one son that's a straight asshole. He a Trump supporter. He believe in guns and blowing shit up.
You ain't got nothing to say about that, nor Nadia. He called his son an asshole because he a Trump supporter.
BJ, my father's called me an asshole. You just said we could talk like that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
you gotta get an asshole for him to wake the fuck up and stop being an asshole.
Yeah, he is a straight asshole. Cause I mean, all he believe in is guns, pit bulls, and fast cars. He living down there in South.
Like Andrew Tate.
He a military. He just like his dad. He a military brat.
No, he's nothing like me. He didn't grow up in the streets. See, but he portrays the image that he a thug. Nigga, you ain't no thug. You don't know nothing about the street. Everything he got was given to him on a silver platter. You are entitled motherfucker. That's what's wrong with him. See, it's something wrong with the boy. And guarantee you, he think just like you. Niggas ain't shit. He wouldn't date a black woman if you threw it in her face. I don't care how.
I don't think like that. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. Trump support.
Forever, snow bunnies never.
BJ's Trump shit is mitigated by Dr. Umar.
Hey, yo, let me get my man Dr. Umar up here, man. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
BJ, this is the best time to try to get him on here.
Nah, I ain't messing with Umar. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't feeling Umar. Cross should have never showed me his school. I ain't like that.
Because it just goes to show that he say he ain't really standing on that. He just used that to get money. Kind of remind me of my sister-in-law.
What up? Any closing remarks, man? I gotta go to work.
All I was gonna say was I don't necessarily think back to the original standpoint. I don't think any person that's a drug addict is a great parent.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
Nah,
I'm
go
gonna do.
ahead.
I'm gonna kill this. I don't think nobody who is a drug addict is a great parent, but I do think there are some that are good parents, and I do think actually what I wanted to say even more so is that there are some people who have drug addictions who do hide them from children, and they don't actually know 100% what's going on with their parents. They just know after the fact that they've dealt with those things. And so in turn, yeah, no, I don't agree with you. I will repeat that over and over and over and over again. Yeah, have a good night.
Well, not only that, Donald Trump supported JFK, and he was a heroin addict,
Yeah, I don't.
and
So
he
where's the
just
facts about that? Where's the facts of that? The nigga talking about JFK was a heroin addict. Where's the facts about that?
he stated that himself. All you Google that. I can Google it for you right now.
The
He was a
president?
heroin, huh?
The president?
No, JFK Jr., the one that's the head of the Health and Human Services, the
You
one
talking
that talk
about
like,
Robert F. Kennedy?
is it RFK?
Yeah, man. RFK Jr.
Yeah, well, he's a ex heroin addict, and his own family is saying they need to get rid of him because he'll put all of us in danger because that heroin fucked him up. He think
What are
crazy.
you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
That's one of Donald Trump's appointees to run the whole health program in America.
I'd rather RFK than the person that Biden had over it. Do you know who Biden had over it?
It wasn't no heroin addict.
I'd rather a heroin addict than a tranny.
Don't.
That nigga had a tranny over the health department.
But instead, they got somebody that's nodding off when he doing his research.
Nah, just stop it, man. Stop it. He talking some good shit, man. He don't want people to use EBT for these unhealthy snacks. He want more natural stuff. The food that we have in America is illegal in the UK and Canada and in Russia and all that. And he's speaking on that. So I'm with RFK.
RFK is his own family don't agree with him.
Well, your family don't agree with you. What are you talking about?
No, my son that's a Republican don't agree with me. I promise you. I'm gonna see if my sister get on her. Peggy, hey, look.
Yeah, I'll chop it over with Peggy, man.
She not going according to what TikTok said or somebody that did some content creator. It's all factual and it's case studies. She worked with guys coming out of prison that had addictions, and who best to be able to talk about addictions than somebody that had an addiction. So, she's a counselor. She got her degree. She went to school during her addiction. She bought a house paid for. She's been living in Vegas for 40 years. And when I talked to her, she was like, I smoke crack. Shit, I like the way it made me feel. It was her drug of choice. It didn't stop her from doing what she's supposed to do as a parent, as a mother to her children. Her children, one of her daughters own her own business. Other daughter's a school teacher. So, there are people that fall into addictions that still can do what they're supposed to do for their kids to make it better, that they don't fall into the trap that they fell into. It doesn't make.
I know lawyers that's on drugs.
Huh?
I know lawyers that's on drugs.
Hell, a lot of them. It's a lot of politicians. Believe me, they snorting that coke too.
Yeah.
And all I want to say is before I get out of here, man, that's just not marginalized death. That's crazy. You shouldn't die for your opinion. It's not cool, man. Somebody should be able to speak no matter how many followers they got or anything. Shouldn't be able to die for your opinion.
Exactly. I agree with that.
That's the topic for today, huh?
Yeah.
I agree. I think everybody agree with that. Nobody should die for whatever their opinion is.
No, Nadia said he he worked hard to for that death.
He did though.
I think there's two topics.
Murder's wrong. I'm not.
But that's not making it. That's not making it. That's not making her saying that it's right. That's saying that he advocated for that. He said, "Well, sometimes
advocation or not, man, and he didn't advocate it in the wrong way. He just stated what the laws of this country was founded off of. That's his only point, I think, in making it. And I don't think that he wanted someone to come and shoot him in his neck over it and die in front of the world to see. I don't think.
Damn. Speaking of Palestine, y'all messing me up, man. Speaking of Palestine, go ahead. I hear y'all.
The other topic is not to undermine other people's deaths as worthy for whatever cause you believe in, because death is wrong no matter what, and there is no cause that's worth human death. That's the other topic of today.
I agree.
But ultimately, still, though, yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what? I'm gonna fuck off. Good night. Good night.
See what your eye rolling does, BJ? See what you're laughing and.
Yeah, she was sleepy anyway.
Right.
Hold on. Let me tell me what you know about this, Noah.
It is called Al Abib. You know what that means? Slave.
You know this smart, beautiful black woman is correct. Where are the campus protests for the 11,000 black slaves in Palestinian neighborhoods? Nowhere. In the Middle East, black people are openly called Abid. That literally means slaves. And it doesn't stop there. Even the Arab-owned stores in the United States openly still use the word when talking about African Americans. Look at this candy. Do you know what that says in Arabic? Ras al-Bidid. It translates head of the slave. It's actually a popular chocolate for Arab buyers in the Middle East. And it's still actually getting sold under that name. If you go on eBay right now, you'll see it. Fact check me. They're not hiding the racism. Slavery is a cultural norm. And nobody in those protests seems to care because there's no Jews.
Afro-Palestinians League.
Oh my, all right.
It is called Al Abib.
Hold on.
All right.
I'm a little slow. To this. Go ahead.
All right. First, you putting this on in the context of me sending you like 5 days ago that they just found out that Google and YouTube were paid $45 million by Netanyahu, the person with an ICJ arrest warrant, to spread these little lovely things about Palestine. They've been saying this about Palestine for so long. First thing is they say Palestinians kill gay people. How do you still side with them? And then they say Palestinians are racist. How do you still side with them? It's very, very clearly part of this campaign. But whatever, let's put this to the side and just explain what Abid means. That word that you just said that this person just said means slave. That's half of my last name. My last name is Abid al-Nabi. And this word in classical Arabic, there's classical Arabic and there's spoken Arabic. Yes, it used to mean slave. Yes, that Ras al-Abid thing means head of a slave. But the word today does not have that meaning. The word today has multiple meanings and it's used in the Quran to mean servant. So in the Quran, it's used interchangeably. When they refer to slaves of war, they call them abid. And when they refer to servants, they call them abid. So the word just changed its meaning over time because there's no longer any slaves in Palestine. And if you ask anything, I just Googled on ChatGPT, are there slaves in Palestine? Are there black slaves? The answer was no and no. So there's absolutely, I don't even know how to go and rebut this when I don't even know what it's based off of. There's no slaves there. The word literally started meaning something else because that concept is not there anymore. And yeah, I don't know what else I gotta say.
It goes back to the theme song. A lot of us were raised with iPads. They believe in all of these false narratives that come over Twitter and X and Truth Social. These media contacts that they getting this information is false. It's a false narrative to brainwash the people. They use the media to change the narrative. That's how they got us to believe first we was niggas, then Negroes, then niggers, then black folks, and we ain't none of them. But because it's been embedded into us over and over through social media, through television, through, because for a long time I thought Africa was just a jungle with lions and tigers and children that was dying of famine. When if you go to some African countries, it's just as developed as America. They got big cities, they got big economic situations. But what we see in America, we take that as true. Like a lot of things, I do use Google to sometimes fact check, but Google is only as smart as the information from the people that put the information in there. I can't believe what I've seen on Truth Social, or X or Twitter or none of that. That should be.
All right, so that wasn't true, no?
No, it wasn't true. And your fastest way to figure out that this, even if it was any part of it was true, the fastest way to figure out that this got nothing to do with black people is, why the hell is my name Noor, slave of the prophet? My entire ancestors, my religion teacher told me my ancestors were slaves of the prophet, but why is my white ass like a slave? Obviously, it's got nothing to do with black people. My family is all of it best.
I'm going to bed. I'm hungry.
All right, Cole.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
All right, peace, brothers.
Google is getting paid $45 million.
That's why I brought it up, to see what you had to say about that. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man, coming through. Noah be down here Friday. Noah, what y'all doing?
Friday morning to Monday night.
Dead in
the morning.
It's my birthday weekend too.
What time?
Dead in the morning.
What the hell dead? What time is that? Dead in the morning.
Like, I think we get there. I have to get there before work. I start work at 9, so I think we leave here at 6 in the morning. We get there like 8:30.
You try getting a rental or something?
No, I don't know. We haven't figured nothing out. We just booked the flights.
Well, y'all better let me know what time then.
He said he gonna talk to you, but I'm gonna be working all day. Like, I could just work from any coffee shop, so I don't know.
Okay.
How am I supposed to figure that part out?
Hey, I want to say one thing. Noah, I didn't mean bye to you like that.
I didn't take it personal at all. I just was looking for my passport. I just needed to prove to BJ that I have just as much a right to be here as he does.
Later, Mom.
Good night. When Kurt said, when you was talking about me, that means what Kurt says means Noah gotta go. Nowhere.
By Kurt logic, by Kurt theology, Noah gotta go too.
No, I didn't say that.
Noah paid to be over here.
I said criminals.
Blood to be over here.
No, you said Trump wife paid to be over here. She got to go back. Noah paid to be over here too. Yeah. Stop.
Well, Noah can't.
What's happening now? Is BJ defending me? I don't even know.
Don't know whether he's defending you or trying to get you to send you to Africa.
I'll take it.
Later, y'all. I got to figure out how to close this shit.
Later.
Good night.
Bye.
Right.
Be live for a minute.
Damn.
All right, hey BJ, I'm thinking about investing in some real estate. You know what I'm saying? Give me a couple of houses. You know what I'm saying? I might go that route. You know,
you could get some. They that tornado.
I wouldn't buy nothing down in the city. Oh no. No, sir. You know, but I know of some investment properties that's out in the county. I could either, I got somebody to do construction, fix them up and flip them, or fix them up and rent them out. You know what I'm saying? And be good. Because I know I'm going to get a house where Omani and Nana could stay in. And then I might head back down to Georgia and try to invest in some property down there. You know how you went from one truck and got a second truck? I want to go from one house and go to the next house, get a second, 3 or 4, do some real estate stuff.
Yeah, it's booming too in Georgia, especially in South Georgia.
Yeah, it is. And so with my sister being a licensed real estate agent, she got contacts with all kind of people. Even this one dude, they were trying to help me get a house when I came down here last time. So I might invest in property.
Yo, talk to Peggy, man. See if Peggy gonna come up here, man, share her story with us, man. I think that'll be dope.
Yeah, it would. I mean, Peggy is real outspoken. I promise you. You might get into it with her, and she stand her ground. Especially, a lot of times she
Why would I
speaks.
get into? I ain't gonna get into it. Well, why would I get into it? Well, she's telling her
Cause
story.
you get into it with every woman, cause you got uh
No, I don't.
a masochistic what is it called, misogynist idea,
That's that
and
narrative. That's that narrative that you bring every time a new person step up here. There's no reason for me to get into it with your sister. She's coming to tell her story. Why would I get into it with her?
well, because I came in it thinking that everybody had their opinion and ain't nobody wrong. But the minute I said something that I didn't agree with you, I was wrong and all that, you know. So I go with this. I like this back and forth because it pushes a recourse that we can agree that we disagree. You know, we might see shit differently, but guess what? I still fuck with you and I'll give you my last. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I know you've done that for me. Shit, when I came back here and found myself homeless, shit, what did you do? You shot me some money so I could, get rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because we disagree don't mean we need to be killing each other. Hey, we gonna disagree.
Of course not.
Shit.
Of course
We
not.
gon' we never gonna agree on all of the same thing. We didn't do that when we was fucking with each other, playing handball and chess. We didn't always agree on shit. Cause remember, we had a whole conversation when we was in the hotel about them niggas you was fucking with. I'm not fucking with them niggas. I'm out, bro. I'll be gone. I ain't head and all them. I ain't with that shit. I fuck with you. I don't fuck with everybody you fuck with, cause everybody you fuck with I don't see as being right, you know?
Yeah.
They would just follow your ass because you're charismatic like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you could talk to men and you could bounce thoughts off of men, but men also bounce them back. That don't mean they agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I ain't never want to see you fall back down again. Shit, I seen your struggle. I was in the struggle with you. Shit.
Facts.
And you and I both ain't in that struggle no more. But I still smoke weed. I ain't never gonna let that go. Cause I never seen it as a wrong. I never seen it as a drug, you know? And that come down from my ancestral line. They smoked, a peace pipe. They just never said there was weed in it. America changed that law and made smoking weed illegal, but made drinking alcohol legal. So they took one and called it a drug, and took the other one and just said it was alcohol.
Right.
Shit. I used to always say, shit, I ain't never heard of no motherfucker smoking 2 or 3 blunts and running into a car killing 5 people. But I have heard a motherfucker taking too many drinks and go somebody fall asleep and be off the side of the road and ran into a school bus and killed everybody. I hated alcohol. I don't think you ever remember me taking a drink.
No, now that you say it, no, I don't.
I don't do that. I don't do alcohol because it's a man-made. It's a matter of fact, the colonials, the white colonials, that's their drug.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I don't remember that you drinking like that.
I ain't had no drink in what, 40, 50 years? I don't do alcohol.
Man.
I watched my daddy drink himself to death. Literally. He had a fifth of Canadian Miss whiskey and Evian water right next to his head when he had a massive heart attack.
Yeah, I'm out of here, Kurt. I gotta go to work.
All right, bro. Yeah, do your thing.
Friday.
Huh?
I'll see y'all Friday.
Yep. I'll be there.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Now let me see.
I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. What up? When I was a little boy, I put my hood on my back. All eyes on me and nobody cut me no slack. While bowling up and down that cold money was all I thought. And daddy was selling drugs, so it made me say fuck sports. Him teaching me the game, felt like he was passing the torch. In front of projects, I jumped off the stoop, not a port. My OGs was my idols, not no Meech or Rick Ross. And remember, to be a boss, life was always the cause. I carry Christ on my back, that's why they call me the cross. And whenever shit was rough, I just hustle and stay my course. And every time I pull myself back on my feet, digging my cleats. Every step I take, rip up the streets. A gun in a vest, some money and weed is all I need. When I hit the block, my mama started losing her sleep. To love a nigga like me is really not for the weak. I became a villain after that 100 bullets ate up my Uncle G. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that.